Number one account radio station so and an so yatina say yada good win some na a day everywhere free sabria coprim say 12 o'clock bebo I would win some kwana eba na jumedi yada sa yebia humandia man anso adwenche wetimi edi aba jumedi so na eno so etimi aboaye pa yada fin some the beba yada nkrofa man so sem abeba ewo jumedi so wake up nkomo ha yeba ni the World Cup enso eho enkomo entiafe anado afidie ndi ato ayemakoba yada ben Nhyira 104.5 FM the weekend edition of Nhyira Power Sports aso na yatren from Gabi Thuram the foreigner and tetim nyina wa ha bedwafo nyina wa ha ayebrepamu beti obia enso nka ewo jumadi so na yenya bay ye jumadi live ewo YouTube and Facebook uko YouTube and no Nhyira TV Nhyira TV ewo YouTube na afe wako Facebook no anonso Nhyira 104.5 FM Nhyira 104.5 FM ewo Facebook handle also utani ya na weja comment ewo ho yabaki kadi nyina ediama ene third and fourth place I know World Cup anonso eba so and numere nonkron ana game no etoja the Three Lions of England and womu toso and 9 and so toso miasa and the big question adodo na ebisa France ana woman so ebo adetia and the big game and numere no so na yenya Argentina woman Spain ana ebo final no enti yabe World Cup on common wa ha Chelsea yebe na yedi unkomo nyina yebe preview matches ni nyina mo pese mo kofi kese ma hwese ebia ne nyankopon betimi ayemadoma na eja mo so betimi anya kakra to etire eno nso yankoba kakra yede ebrewo Fifi Manfred ewa ha Josia Holotu enso ewa ha Jude Bafo enso betene nka ewo eso no so Bismarck Owusu Bempa Ayala enso etete sanso na Riches Medonko enso etete Sokobai Fort Low Kwabena Prince Nredu ana Festive Sando ana aso dwumadi ma wo mu produce neja yetumi ede abra Jeff Abuade ene bra kwame ana eja social media no so no wo me dia tutum din enteropedia ya ba dia yadewa but asamba ko yase Gianni Infantino FIFA president UEFA for no abo omunka komuntume de esiani wom so ompeso mu Gianni Infantino edi FIFA abenya no so won kobo kaka ha ye de eblo na anopai mati story na mati ye mo apa na emi no yes Manchester United di nkomo be so omunya Vinicius Junior mo pe Manchester United okay enti me de unkomo so edi eba ana yesi Michael Olise akate the France national team ni players na say nyame anim nie opeso osia kan edi ma Madrid ano so unkomo kakra ha Luis de la Fuente one na head coach edi ma the Spanish national team wakasa Sansona Lionel Scaloni enso kasa edi afa Argentina wo mu game mo ni Spain ebebon ho na that circulating a picture of Lionel Messi and Lamine Yamal na mahuni dada mpacho Lionel Messi akasa fa ho and I don't pay where the horse's own mouth say no kwe sanya no kwe no and pay ya ba ya de onkomo e de bro winning some KP na nkrofo amanso wo betu no dwumadi so na ya bebe fie na ya ba be di efie enkomo enkomo isi atane kwa ne yesa Ghana man pay John Dramani Mahama akasa na nenkasa yemu no efa gudie hu ansam so ninya ye head coach eso ya dwumade de senior national team Carlos Queiroz Ghana man pay ni chasa ya de adwuma no erma Carlos Queiroz o fi so papa no ebetimi aboa Ghana ye pa impo sa yakọ eye afcona ane World Cup subsequent ones da Ghana anima o wetidie se Ghana betimi akoda anim ye pa ane yansema no pe yatena se yedi eba se ye betimi ayesa anase yetimi nyesa eno nkomo kakra ewa ha afa ye stadium ewa Ghana hanso no wo so pese emiti aye standard anya we kwese enya maku num atese ebase sempo ye pese hostu afcona yetime hostu bi enso ewa Ghana ano ye dia His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ade atudwa wenyina nkamfa ana yatu di kono konso akofa head coach di aba Tinkler Matisa supporters ni so da bi de omo mpe no wo ye South Africa ni adada no pay san kobo no so e wo hanti nko ba bia medame wa ba ye kwa kodi clun enkobo awode bu nsam ene apomudin ana enam enti ko ba bia me betisi e me ba ya be to so e wo dwumade so de ma ha e insure yo no mo wana kan video sesi dia sentiment nyina ati atumnie me kwa ba na fi yetimi edi ye nkoma akanyina ewo eye dwumade so time with Kulun Ghana Limited.
Sir Uyo Mawenenji, this is the time with Kulun Ghana Limited. I Kulun dear Obia name say Yendro dear and Feli. I we oba Mawenenji. Then tina say Wenenji because a drobi wa friend Araba Bazen tablet. Araba Bazen tablet. Oh no ma esesi oye ti say oba. Ufichiri umko hao nyina etubetwa. Aye, se uko efichiri na pains wom, menstrual pains, unum Araba Bazen ebejai. Afe insu, se uyo obi a waware insu, debia u complaining se wone engineer mabiyunte se uni atinka. Atinka ni honti, debia ukunu o complaining, dabi, se eba nesa. Aye, ukuno die oba ohoa na bebia nsi kwan dia se wa onim sa die no dada ai se die ofa bia no se ni die ai ni die di we su ye bokokoko aminimpo oba o die fama no sa kwala so se ye manu tofi na akokra nso so ye mani dey Mpamu tofi. Yeah. Yes, yeah, deo. Yanka nifia nipa ubi. As you say, entrance dada. Oh. Unkwane sa dio. Eh, yes, yeah, de. Ako krasuma, misi ya mani de. Mpamu tofi. Mpamu tofi. Inti. Se mpamu tofi no ube mani dia. Then I would be bombai. Araba Bazen tablet. And the Araba Bazen de oba unya bia papa unuma sisi ye feature muka ha nyina etobetwa se na mekan no se wo menstrual pains ebeko afensu se nka bone wo ho a ebe ye free ho uti ase na chesa ahemfie be fe ahemfie be kama na naba obetra ho dada uti ase aha enti Araba Bazen tablet unyabia na onuma esiesi oye ti se oba obi nso wo ho a oni atinka o start no ma atinka beba ebi nso wo ho a menses na nkasa no embabium nso onya brewasa oye young lady menses na atwa embabium unyabia ebeba na ho ato afi nso obi nso wo ho a ne menses no disorder nenti eba etimi guwenima sekra ko ontimi calculate days no timi ba at any time u start no ma ebe shape say 4 days na ba ebe ba 4 say 3 days ebe ba 3 Araba Bazen no esisi ma be ye kama be ye obasema obi nso wo ho a wo ne menopause stage ti menopausal symptoms no ha na adwen pa onya Araba Bazen no bia woni how ebe ma wa ye fine woni how kra obi nso wo ho a waware ache akwala bia nso woni dem da ope awo bia mba adane adwenwen onya Araba Bazen o start no ma ebe ma watu nkosia bebre se beba no o Ghana ha na oni amano ne de odi ne nsan kan wa na chese wa riso an wa no waji wa de a year by this time ukita kwala that simple de ehia wa ne se ubefrey ai na ya kan ho asem ana ubekọ pharmacy na wakọ bi na wa obedi ho adanse because dra emfeliu ebo adwuma obia di ho adanse dro papa onum Araba Bazen so a ema watinka ona evi de no atinka no o because atinkanti obi aware say de bia kunu ba ho anti yento sheda udi ahomachi vedru no na yese be man se wabre na ade achi na yese o sa kwa adwuma saa udi saa na we ko no be ho na ware na se ebi nso wo latest one na aba no wanti me mbo chire latest one no say I'm not in a mood Mudi sadia no de bia I'm not in a mood. Be ma pese oba ni ho na muntu azonto kakra wo mpemu no say I'm not in a mood. I'm not in a mood. Enye kope rubber bazin eno na onu ma rubber bazin be on say obi bia ya adwuma kama. Enche you will be in the mood. With your friend is 0244 27 54 29 0244 27 54 29 and 0206 27 10 16 0206 27 10 16 Ofremia make you super. Na another one I wo in ye. De bia ye bisa question say ojunso mo no etisen. Be ma ojunso a ma ojunso ma sem hia pa. Because most of the time no obe hun say ojunso a pains wom. Obe ma mo ehihie wo pa. Ebi nso wo ho a ojunso a na ubechima asa otiminya kakra aba abesi ebi nso wo ho a ojunso a na wanye ho chese junso no diwa profuma na eba ai nti we nti wanhwe ya na wajunso go ho ebi nso wo ho a se ojunso kra ubehun se junso no e delay ai embatinsa ebe chance ebi beba na ebi nso ba on be on say ebi akem ai obe feel say ebi akem obe chima emba we nyina akire say wo junso mu yare wo prostate enlargement prostate problem ha adwen pa ya fra baby urinary urgency say junso no di o profuma na eba nti untimi holdi we nti wan hwe ya na wa junso go hu ebi nso wo ho a nocturnal urination uda ontiminda obesori ajunso saa we nyina akire se wo prostate problem bi wo ho be on se ojunso na mo hihiew pa ti se meko bi anaka kadro bi na wo be mamu e kire se prostate no ayekese e se o pedro papa nenom na saa de no enjai ebi nso wo ho a ojunso wie wa hye pant afi na esuso enti obedru fie no na panties nyina afọ asemo panties nyina afọ esa ha adwen pa enti kope hunchun capsules na betimi aboawo eno na ebetimi asupportive eno na ebetimi aboawo a wankasa weni beji ai hunchun capsules HUICHUN hunchun capsules ai obi krum kasa na asie no ekire se abrantie nti wo num edro no na wo ye abrantie se na wo ye dada no kire se kane no a wo ye abrantie a otimi junso a bibia eni ho a esi okwan no nansen a wo ye penyino a wo junso a wo hawo no wo start no hunchu no na wa begina kane no se na wo ye abrantie a wo junso a oni hawo no saa ti hunchu ndie dro papa onuma oni hawo ye share rubber kra catheter omo be yi ama within short time na hunchu no yetime no for prevention eno kra na ye no nti kopa bi wo 40 years above no for prevention wo nana bi ana wo uncle bi wo ho a bo homa de pa se ube to sa honchun no bi ma no na onom na onfa boni homban free sa yare boni we no frame me na ede nkomo 0244 27 54 29 0244 27 54 29 and 0206 27 10 16 0206 27 10 16 o frame ya meji osupa na obi wo ho a osori a obehun se anansi eha no but onim de ekoso anansi achimi nayo achimi nsan anansi abro anansi sa eha no ebi nso wo ho a otiminya migraine tifa timi pai no onti ase ebi nso wo ho severe headache na ne so aye ko ni trip pai no ebi nso wo ho a ti se obi a watru meka but one tru meka bia nso se na obehun se na kuma no elbow no we na akwara bi se obi se ni mami asuma no nti otu meka bae no nso obi wo fufu wo na kuma mu se na kuma bo no se sa na e wo fufu ai na chese baby koso wo ho aha eno e kire se wo how wo problem ti ko na kope kin tablet KIN eno na betimi aboa ebi nso wo ho a be unse wo ho a na we ne so brew na ebi wo ho a home no kran sisu yi unanti kakra wa bre we nyina kire se ebi wo ho a pressure no e na akosro KIN kin tablet na betimi aboa but untimi nkire all the time we advise ko hospital na ko check your pressure se o check na e wo ho ampa KIN kin tablet na betimi aboa eno na betimi aso anu amo na ohun ato nti de obeya ne se wo de frame na ye di hu komo na most of the time no memma bebre nim se onom BP adro ebetimi affect u performance wo mpamu be we de ne so ban ti sa kin tablet e haba na edi ye enti wo noma oni ha obia ai memma bebre mu pe mu BP adro no because mu feel say e be affect mu performance be kin ne so ban ti sa betimi anon fa oni ha frame 0244 139176 and 0244 27 54 29 0244 27 54 29 and 0206 27 10 16 o frame ya meji usupa na X and Y granules there e for low sperm count enti we ye bema na ohun nsuo na agene a se otimi bo adwuma o ye kra timi di ho dance se wo fa de oboa o onye mreda she that's why I say otima ye fita ba oboa o chen abrantie oboa adwuma but se obehye nyinse no na aka no kwa wofa de aka wo wiase nyina no sika ebi wo ho wonim kasa woye ni papa ubo amanfo adwuma wo mpa so nso ubo pa adwumade nso usaye ka ho ukwa sorry woye ni papa woye titiri wo abusianom de aka ne akwala asa eno kwa na obi ahwehwe wo wofa wonso wabɔ homa de wayɛ saa enkosi aga be me wo just last edura me kan for ma wofa kopɛ no eno de emfeli ye frɛ no X and Y granules wofa emfeli me na me ka kyerɛ X and Y granules a year by this time ukita kwala ubeshe white me na me ka kire o kopebi X and Y granules ubedi ho dance here Enfelio X and Y granules eye drop papa from me on 0244 27 54 29 54 29 and now 0206 27 10 16 0206 27 10 16.
Oh yeah! Come on!
Nhyira
104.5 FM. Morning.
Bempa Ayala. Good morning. Now, I want to say,
oh, Nyamiadum, Menwe.
Edeniasi. Ahwefo ne atiefo so ma feel.
Meso ma feel mu pa.
To ma feel papa.
Meso ma feel mu messages enkofo send me na da be na obeba biem ne nsensem bebre meso ma feel mu. Mama.
Edeniasi. Na America to say,
oh, they compare the a different world.
Okay. I'm say a small heaven. No, you need heaven there, but you bet me the honor to heaven.
Oh, heaven, maybe I now exaggerate, but
okay.
Say Yakoko, say Anya Shuka, Yako golf ho, Kata hone, Dubai ho, Yakone Nam ho, Yako Europe, and Yako America. I think the difference in so.
Okay.
The only difference is so visible and say America is too commercial. Is sikasem. And my mama example. Say ya down sitting at you be a could phone. Intina would daily life will be Twitter will be Facebook will be tune in TikTok and so that is what we do. But the moment we do America chronometer, we build phone no social media no so we are different country simply because the commercial way a social media net no. Everyone say no, corona room is serious. Into for instance, meti hey. Se me sorry anopa na me da me persona eye mani ha say mesi for makwakoso radio a. Me fa me phone na me bie tune in.
Okay.
Na me ti radio no me phone no so. Se me bie tune in wo Ghana, and also me bie tune in na ma search radio kra me se me tie na me de ato na me tie. But we do America, ubetime be a tuning up no 4 minutes now union do page na I was u choose which radio station you want to listen to. Adverting wow. Ha.
Ibia is
adverting kwa bobo adverts and sana what me wura app no ko choose obi abeso tie FM, obeso tie Live FM na so obeso tie bibi no watie. O TikToker. Untimi scrolling 1, 2, 3 and cover 5 abra unshare adverts. Ubie baby say Snapchatter. Ubie Snapchatter o first page is now you see recommended like companies ads. Everything about the country is commercialized. And see answer kwana beti esikonum o phone so kwa be ma won say no be o ready sikasam gidi uko Twitter the same thing uko Facebook uskoli ana advertisement abeso she bibi ubesha advert na answer ana I know why yes will be TikTok wa but you know mutua wakano because the commercialization of the pages with social media no is so unique say bibi na attractive over how they are you deserve to see it.
Okay.
Yes, you deserve. So say it here. And the logarithm no so no because on the moment say per sports. It be a BS page biana me ko sports content, you know. So they now start to suggest sports commercial way and sites, betting companies, sports analytic companies be no more me say bobo di so mo who say we a sports person there what bano you can add these sites in these pages and be
yes ka diffuser
enti gidi discuss and the final thing as I didn't be and say okay, you understand why people say America is the land of opportunities, and that's how because right from the start, you know, your orientation, you know, and they say you have moved into a commercialized zone, and they say who will be also be contributed to the economy now start yet now be ska and
afei yes starting to say said the one kasa okan no way of second world cup akore you say kata ukọ ho na wakọ US but US the end the world cup no 3 countries na ekohosi Canada and then Mexico be America ho say odi toto kata de no ho a do say kata de end kata kuro nko a na omo bibia ho so odi toto this particular world cup in terms of organization, transportation, hotels, and Sanya money now. So all the total kata de no difference between them.
The difference is big.
Okay.
Was a kata de na enye kata kronum kwa. It was only Doha.
Okay. Doha.
The whole World Cup was hosted in one city, and that was the first time I see what we are saying. See a host World Cup in one city. Say, everyone say all the total Ghana one. Ke host World Cup in one crown one. Into all the various stadia who see a ball kata World Cup was in one city. Enti mekai time ane ya wakata no. Ubetimi a PSA bi a woko Villaggio Mall. A walking distance from the villa na ye dano. You can own nantia, you bypass a stadium. So ye wa you say obet todo aka krea bi a obet ma stadium ni nyina krea sia. Stadium ni ebo World Cup ni nyina. Esisi kroni mu a. But Rich, America is too big. Too big. Almost 30 be out of Ghana. So huge. I think say idea boom road system no. Any in general mo transportation system no. And come on America minimum that they don't have fast trains. Europe Asia. Dabi.
Okay.
Enti mekai odo ha say Uchamu Villa now rad downtown underground where that's also called Lucille Stadium and that's also Education City Stadium. Ura down on a offer trainer because train here fast train you know within 15 minutes right. You are at your next stadium. I'll be so question. But America America training now train system is slow ones maybe. And even people prefer buses than some for train. Now, say, okay, say who free be a Boston, Aqua Philadelphia. Say your boy first game of Boston, your boy second game of America, or Philadelphia. And it's okay. You want to travel from Boston to Philadelphia. Now, Ubusaba so how many hours or so? 5 hours. So American, you get yourself. I couldn't wait 5 hours. And they said the okay, say Ghana 11 hours. So mo kwanda so enti the rate account ana ya babe din komo ewo dwumadi so na monso metimanya kwan abaso na etimi aboye pa yakato se fi sabre akopim se 12 o'clock bebo na ye de agode munsem no e de ba na wie dwumadi live ewo ye handles ni nyina ye social media handles no on YouTube enum Nhyira TV and afi on Facebook enum Nhyira 104.5 FM ewo Facebook handle wo kwa na do comment ne e de aba e be pem ye bakin kan nyina de ama won
ahyehyɛ awodo nyina so ma yɛni nkɔmɔ kakra ɛwɔ ɛyɛ nkrɔfa ma so na afei yɛtumi akɔ the tactical board na yɛde nkɔmɔ no nyinaa atoa so ɛde ama wɔ ahyehyɛ awodo nyina so na wonim sɛ ɛnɛ big game baako ɛto dwa ɛno ɛyɛ ɔman ne gyina de France wɔn ɛne England ɛna ɛde si ɛne ɛno yɛ third and fourth ɛyɛ game a ɛto dwa ɛyɛ ɛnwumire no nkron ɛna saa game no ɛba so yɛde live commentary bɛbrɛw ɛwɔ ɛyɛ fidie mu ha na nso ɛtumi aboa saa game no two coaches no akasa ɛde afa Luis de la Fuente tena wɔn nso game no wɔdi nkɔmɔ kakra ɛde afa better as usual nansan yɛde transfers ɛde ma yɛwia ne yɛde World Cup stories no ato so nti me any transfers nkɔmɔ kakra na yɛwe de wɔn nkɔmɔ no asi ɛteɛ mɛsɛ sɛ de free Madrid na mɛdi nkɔmɔ kakra no pɛ ukɔ Madrid a diamete ɛsɛ yɛsɛ Michael Olise wakɔ kyerɛ the France national team players ne sɛ wɔn de na mie nim nie wɔbɛ sɛ ɔkɔ Madrid sɛ ne nam abɔnten sɛ Bayern fo sɛ wɔn ntɔ no ɛmfa ma Madrid wɔn ntɔ no mfa ma club bia no wɔn de na adwene paa no sɛ wɔtwɛne Madrid a ɛde ma bɛtumi akɔ ɛde ama ne yɛ reporter Michael Olise mete sɛ abranten de atwitwa ɛwɔ dwumadie so anɔpɛ meka tire ɛde ama na mamenkɔ Africos mini nkɔba kakra nim sɛ Africos wɔn ba ɛyɛ World Cup one player wɔn nso bɛti ne din yɛ paa ɛyɛ abranten ne din ɛde Unao ɛyɛ Ulai akoda we de kyɛnse no osi aka de ma Trabzonspor reporter mensaka ɛyɛ sɛ Fiorentina bɔbɔ no wɔn ne Trabzonspor di nkɔmɔ nkɔmɔ na kɔ anim yɛ paa ɛyɛ 30 million euros adasa sales on clause kakra ɛtɛkyere ɛtɛsɛ kɔba sɛ dankyɛn nkɔmɔ bia no sɛ Fiorentina bɔbɔ no ɛtɔ abranten ne de Chris Unai Ulaya wɔn nso betumi ɛnya percentage a ɛnɛ reporter mensaka atɛsɛ medi twɛkyɛ kakra ɛde ama wɔn nhyehyɛ ahodoɔ so nie na maame nkɔ ɛyɛ kolokolo wɔn yɛ team a wɔn wɔ tiri na mekɔ Kevad nso kakra bato deɛ tie nie wonim sɛ Kevad wɔn ba World Cup no wɔn goalkeeper ayɛ Vosinha na koda wei ba bɛda goal yie paa yaso kɔ tiri a kolokolo bɔbɔ no ɛde ato dwa sɛ wɔn nya abrante wei a wɔn bɛsan no na ɛgya wɔn ba bɛda goal post no ɛde ama wɔn ɛwɔ tiri ɛne ɛba sɛ tiri a wɔn nso atuma wɔn sampa wɔn nya best goalkeeper ebetuma abɔ wɔn yie paa na ɛnyɛ ɔno koraa yɛsɛ yɛ two goalkeepers ɛna wɔn hwɛ anim ada so bɛsan Vosinha anaasɛ abrante de de Santiago ɛyɛ Mala wei yɛ reporter mensaka ɛwɔ dwumadie so bɛda yɛsɛ propose ane deɛ ɛyɛ so wɔn fi sɛ ankɔm nya Vosinha ankɔm bɛpɛ yie paa na ɛnyɛ kolokolo bɔbɔ kɔ no koraa ɛna ɛpɛ abrante de de Vosinha yɛsɛ kɔ South America hɔ a ɛna class bebree ɛnya abrante na wɔn nso bɛtumi asa no ɛnti World Cup ne deɛ de ba ɛna no pɛ meka tire deɛ ama wɔn na mobɛka a tama meyɛ ɛyɛ headlines no meka gyam sɛ story bi nyame anim nie ɛba sɛ a wɔn yɛ abɛka sɛ oh story wei deɛ ɛni kwan sɛ esi story wei kwan pɛ deɛ esi ade a yɛsɛ fini so tunia sɛ ɛba sɛ wɔfiri Madrid a the next option Edema Branter Manchester United say ya na ɛsesa aseɛ wobɛnwan so ɛnya no kɔ mo bɛta sɛ Branter na kyɛ sɛ ɔkɔ anasa ayi nano da ane ɛte so yɛsɛ Florentino Perez sɛ kwanko bia so Michael Olise ɛbɛba bɛsi aka de ama de so ɛnya no kɔ ɛna ade ate akɔ ikoi ɛba yɛsɛ Saudi Pro League Cristiano Ronaldo kɔ wɔm so Ronaldo de kɔ de wɔ Saudi yɛte ane sɛ Ronaldo na kɔ Benzema kɔ guarantee interview Madi de nya de se meko ba bia de ati ye nu akwa side contract abusia reporter menseka ya se yase vini so tunia ewe mudia se akoba ya se ne contract wa nya renewa afama Madrid na akoba ya se mpo Madrid de person moto no anase se the football no baba the last year na wie Madrid the next club abantana na adwe so obetwane Manchester United ane yankoba kakra mensa eka ewe dwumadie so na no pay make tire e de ma na other story e ye pa no tomatucho na tomatucho na eno adasa okọ press conference anansa tovo ko bisa se open ayawo na wasa na asa wo manta na asa ateso muntime anya adwuma ni ye nanka masia wo man bi ti se ayi nanka esanka mutime wi ni against Argentina mo ya sa kokolu su ye papa se yemfa blame ni nyina mfama no emfa mo bia ente bia wo beka se player B ana ye ya ema England wo mantima ko manima wo se ono na ye head coach no mo fa so buo ni nyina mfama no what ase we mistake wo so obetima criticize no na criticism se na wo de man no when one franco the player bia so so wo person criticizing na but any direct any henanim na ka chance wono wanya de wo so betia say ye pa ba ko ba say bia ni player bi na wo criticizing na wo say ade say be ha dwene ye pa ene nkoba kakwa so me pato uko England wo mu head coach opanya ni tin and so edi tomaticho edi tuta e wo dwumade so wo wie san koba na ba pe ana Donald Trump so akasa Donald Trump say no kwa wo de nyamie nim nie wo hu bi kwa da and you business dey no hu bi da no say na so no golf na nani tu pa and the golf no so opo no players bi wo mu ade ye pa onim say ban football wo mu so mu ye good obi ti say hurricane na ebe ne wonwa say England what's ba ko enkrofo ya ba bete person say go ka ho na we dey was striker akoko defense and your business striker be no na say game no mu say hurricane afa England na tro no ogina ho defend na we ya de piaka was on there na adwen say England a mistake eno nti na ma Argentina and so efa ho edi wura ma eno ya report and pato America man pay into no Trump edi Twitter e wo tumade so a ene anope mi gbetre edi ma now ma men ko France meaning koba kaka answer no da me baba kato say ya 3 quarters ano mato yo manya aduma ye emu ba ko ye Zidane wona France aduma no ana emu ba ko anso aye Jurgen Klopp wona so England aduma no ana o mede man ba ko aka ayo penya ne de Pep Guardiola yes one we ono so betwan no the England aduma no wo me dia man now yendi France nkobo reporter men say this month ya ana o mede manto no ade man Zidane na fe wetema say aduma na say the man the France man no yes the mandate first aye Euro 2028 yes sir wamaka chance side of 2028 in there won konko bo aduma say na be a France man no anya ma betima ko dia mamo wo wi 2030 anya ya the next target after so media mo pay no entanya record 2028 and so the France man Euros no after 2030 World Cup no kwanko bia so he said the Didier Trump anya record 2 times wakwa konanim amania ma ya kama and so no ba be fa bia World Cup 2030 and so to be the Argentina man no etimani ya reporter sa aka ewe tumede su Cristiano Ronaldo mo beka na no da obubo mo game na wi a o mu film no abanta the statement wade eba no woja to fifi say Ronaldo every time from national assignment and also on retire no and say that nya clear na adena na no pay makotin kobo bi and say UEFA Nations League no ade say on the September 24th wo bu game ya say Portugal man ebabo reporter men say ka say sa game ni na likely say Ronaldo be calling say off say na team no anya de so no so be na assignment biem and yankoda ne me no ma me yatuma no and from the Portuguese national team and yankoba kakwa mete from Cristiano Ronaldo make it to the jamaa na ma min ko UEFA min ko din koma kakwa yes UEFA for the bima committee na meeting na ebi mu ko no wo mu fi say openya ni de Gianni Infantino wono no ye FIFA president the papa no na sentem yase kata asese ene nkomo bia o mede papa o peyini chire honom nyame anim do mo nsa da anyada no anka be ya pa dia o mede ye pa se UEFA ni ba ku nyiniti na nka one no peyini nkonko pre e ba se FIFA bato na ekoso a enkoko ye ono post bia biem afi one ne nkonko pre one ne pre o meto aba e dia ma so peyini no yase UEFA fonko bedie no nipa ba ko mo hwe ndin pa no e na sa akalafe wono ye president ade MPA jibobo kono afọ ko UEFA ayade so no sudi bintintiba pa wo mutase ono anene no mu boni kutupa o mu se na tidom na feso no we the FIFA president etuma kokopre in the next election ade nyame adom na teso mu Infantino fiso a wo mani betimi ade pa ane yankoba kakra mensaka e wo dwumadie so esa so ya so mu odidi ye pa sa America for host na wo mo aye wo World Cup no ya se UEFA fan dodo na bibo eni sadanje ho ana fe sadia eni nam wiem se asa Argentina team no anka be pa dia na anka Argentina ana anka so mo tin pato yesi ebimu efi se sa idea no wo mo se concern enti anka be pa dia gomu Infantino enfani fena fejwe fani emra no monto aba no enfama no ene e reporter men seka e wotuma de so now me ko Don Terry medi nkoba kakra Don Terry akasa na ye bisa se Lionel Messi no dia na ma Messi ye Messi a wo why defender da Messi no obi antimi stop no 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 se jaba mo akwado munya hunu no Messi no ono ye stop no wo se Messi no he wodi ni ti anaasɛ wɔte ne ti wobɛhu sɛ ɔde ne to twetwe wobu ne nan wobɛhu sɛ wafa ne nsa na ɔde deade bɔɔ no kwankuro bi a Messi ɛbɛfa so a ɔbɛ outplay no Leo Messi bɛyɛ saa deɛ no na ɔsɛ Messi adeɛ a ɔmpɛ ɛsɛ bi abu bɔkɛ mu so wode katase ebia wode buka anaasɛ ahoɔden ɛne deɛ no Messi bɛbɔ no wayɛ dwene so ebi a wobu nkam na fɔ so ɔne ɔsɛ ne die ɛba ne saa deɛ kɔ Messi bɛfa so abɔbɔ no nyame anim nie wonka sɛ sɛ yɛ Leo Messi kwa na ɔwɔ saa ahoɔden no ɛnti ɔsɛ Messi ne deɛ ɔyɛ all weather sɛ ada sɛ nsuo mu o awia mu o wode physics o wode normal wode flow Lionel Messi about outplay and you do bet me aka so be at us what's the time I goat what the baby of a cobia no baby son and who is the goat what's the time I need on one goat no wouldn't be in free game with that and you come back and then some double I drink as and I down for air John Telly at the Twitter to media swa and then I no pay your bet at the ama and make Laporte one who see us pay about a banter casa you besides say I didn't another Monso muyi fancy film no yase mu call dressing room mu kwati mani and say yeah yani o say we na halfway celebration do so mo pɛ full celebration and e be say full celebration e dey no so many atenti na e kwa akobo anu ye tenada na so mo je World Cup na anom be celebrate ye pa na watch France our semi final wo ko final na kwa celebrate mo de wo mo nyo mo ne ma senti no wo ka mo bi atia say wo mo say atenti na wi a anom fe celebrations no enso be ba ne enko be kakwan so a emegla port ade twitwa e wo dwumade so ene anopɛ me kete de ma Louis Talafonte wono na ye head coach Adama Spain man wo pɛina kasa wosi enka mo bi anta se abanta ne de Lamine Yamal anom fe Pedro Porro sa two players ni nyina obi ayo okay amante me enu nyina aye fine na no da na omo hododo omo against omene France bowie no na ne man sedan koye but adia ba ko betima ka sa two players na chanda wo besia kan e di ama aye the Royal of Fire Spain anu ye nkoba kakwan so a etotwa e wo dwumade so a ene anopɛ no me ba take kakra e di ma Lionel Messi azu de nkoba kakra de atutwa na mepato monjari me eno aye Leo Messi wani Lamine Yamal aya picture na circulate no beginning na ba na ja dodo na nim say AI because AI is one when ye job ma wire no wedi beba hozu na tese wedi obi kwa boni awie na Lionel Messi no da on interview and e be say picture no kure we man na no so say me kai o satan na Lamine Yamal I was 6 months pay ana me ko dwale no ene akoda na me ko dwale no ene woni me ba be say park so we will be nim say coincident to say dey o na time Lamine Yamal ye dwale ne sa time no na Lionel Messi jersey number 19 ana ese na Messi she Messi ya kwaba Lionel Messi akwaba na woni Lamine Yamal e ba be say park so in a final day and also on the 19th Lamine Yamal nankasa ese jersey number 19 and tell me say 19 no something for Lamine Yamal and if say anything to go by there it means say niam nyina tete at the mother Spanish national team say yamfa say ebia niam ne niam miti amata say the wo football ma your friend lack no bibi kwa dia ma Lamine Yamal with the number 19 there it means say and this final game na niam betima kozie at the ama ISP man no but Lionel Messi say na nia die pa sa koda na 6 months wonu koko twade no akoda ni ne ba besia awo final ateso no so ni ne ba bebo ene enkoba kakwasa Lionel Messi adi apa ewo dwumade so a ena no pe me kete dia ma Rodrigo Cascante dodo na fa no Rodri wadi enkoba kakwa dia tutwa na Rodri si yanka mo bi anta asa adi abako ese football their football ediba as the unity and the every country and is about say amen tete differences near the other now person kabomba football and the united unity and wo ba wo nyina kabom no ma ya adwuma ne ye se na be ya ebetimi aboy ye sense wo no football no didi ye pa say the unity and so the pa and yankoba kakwan so a be pa to abranche ne team adi Rodrigo Cascante adi apa e wo dwuma de so ene anopa me gba che kakra adi ama na otasa uhemo padia time game no start here na manfo bebre to the fosa anka be kwampanka World Cup no edi kwanso oko esanse yesi na nse ya no player o player na nse dante wo pese onya hoden pa anka wo ma World Cup ni ntwam no ntimi nye okay se na be betima abo ne club level better was ni teammate wo mu nyina dey support edema na na wo mu no makwa di final ene enkoba kakwa so Rodrigo Cascante adi Twitter ande be sanse na ene mu kwakwese mu ni teama ne dia de Argentina we be ti sele na Messi ana mu ni kwakwese na Messi aduma na be kwese no so nyame anim ne yankabo bi anta se enye Messi nkwa na mu ni kwakwese na o me ani die ade Argentina nyina ana mu ni o mu kwakwese and to deal with the Messi no as I do say Argentina nyina ana se o tele with them enye Leon kwa eno yankoba kakwa so a Rodrigo Cascante ade apa e wo tumade so we free up papa na ye call Lionel Scaloni one of Argentina national team head coach and you be saying na wo yasibu team no more plan kwaya mbefa so ambetimi stop Lamine Yamal and also Lamine Yamal the person stopping the anka local room ho and ya wuti ni say dem anu atunu wo ma Lamine Yamal mpie wo ma Messi park ne so kwa na nka ase bibi compete ma na wasa akoda no ne nanka grass ne sensan na akoda ni bibi asese o wasi ne nanka sensan na masa Lamine Yamal wuntimi stop no e ma ni ye ono pa de na adwumu de anka no uye team na pese Lamine Yamal bebo bi anka tini dressing room no atunu na de safano e de pie e basa de a ene wo ho so anya sapa de ne ma be yeten wo sa koda no ye treasure adema football in the world football open youngest players we mudi tumani ye padia wuntimi mbo ba ku mienu wabla Lamine Yamal anso emba ento ogidi ye passe etina de game no mo kwa kobodo enya sam ketwa kwa ene Lionel Scaloni enkoba kakọ no so edi Twitter na Dibu Martinez goalkeeper de Argentina man no dodo na fere Emiliano Martinez na Martinez ni enkoba kakọ de Twitter ye bizanza mo zamo Argentina for mu padia for menam tentenwa sa ana mudi aba bedu e no se ebo na ya do no ya ne do no anya na sisa team ayo pe aya do no mo ye ana Argentina man ye kokofa ho na anya hwekwa se Colombia bo mo boye wo mo ma tese Portugal fo nyina ya mre wo mu wie po obi a no outplay Portugal ni ade no okosi awon Switzerland na yi ni film so amusu ni Switzerland na boy na Switzerland na why Colombia film no mo na kwakosi na Switzerland team ketwa na ento ka mo bia tell football ne dia sa baba penalty wo be nam tantanu ade bedi o metu no wo mani atu ye pam na one thing obetimi aka say Argentina man no wo mu players na family ana mo ye wo be hu Messi die ni wo hu anu nie wanya nkodari nye obi atua mu be wo so mu si park ne so a wo mu mpo as just squad wo mu bo as family Argentines atasa wo maka mu hu asiani a wo mpeso mu ye bibi enti abire bia mpeso mu bokem bia no that family team na no me de bo enti sa wuchi Argentina ne bia mu no bokem na at the start of the game no eni man ko na ye wa adwen sem awie dia na to adwem esa say power bia mu de beba eni atuma no mbe na enya sem ko to akwa enti wasi yanka mo bia ntia say Argentina man kwanya Goma first ma dominate in this World Cup ne ya jiwe pa kwanya da aya resilient na fe unity and so wetim no ma dia ba bedu ba this time no ya de nani anso jiwe pa ene enkoba kakwan so a abanta de tina de aya Dibu Martinez ade tucha e wo tumade so a ene anopen me ketre ade Lionel Messi enso di enkoba kakwa na Messi enkoba odi abane Messi on Lamine Yamal bie Leo Messi si yanka mo bi anta se akoda ne akoda no ni mpo pa na se enye se Lamine Yamal no bo no ni mpo no nkwanti ana no de pa akoda na sem na de nto pa akoda na sem ye pa ya se we ye player one when mbo ne bo afa o se bo to ma Barcelona ye club a eno enana kuma husuo edana kuma ho edan tempe ento ani ti basa wo ye pa ento ya akoda sa na ni mbo ne bo na fo san ye Barcelona player dia woni Lionel Messi kwanko bia so no wono ba ya da o ye pa enti de nto pa branta na sempa eno nso anie ye report branta di twam e wo tumade so ene anopa me ketre dem a Lionel Scaloni anie bi san say Tambana Lionel Messi by time the last game on board the Argentina oh World Cup me mani ana say na team no the last game ni ana no say hey na Messi asem na mbe bi say me ade say na mo mu cho no ankasa no ma bi say no na ball na Messi ball no de ubezi da ka so Messi the last game ni one day nyame anim ni central for enya kwaya no mu bi say Lionel Messi a e bia no ankasa nya no ye enso e German central for ade yankoba kakwa so be pato o pay ni di tuta e wo tuma de so ene ana pay make take kakwa e di ama now mayemye na menko Spain Luis de la Fuente one head coach at the Emma Woman in Spain na one so kasa yebisa sa Lami Yama one Messi na and also munya but Messi no or a unique player or a player of his own and as of his own or no ne ball na obono and now some kotwaka on him born but the chance would be Lami Yama about to Messi when a great mistake and now Baba Messi no do be who we winning name Messi a Rome medal at the Lami Yama Lami Yama and he don't get it twisted and he and Kobaka Kwanson Pato Louis de la Fuente and the was on pressure bia afi na mo bebe Lami Yama no wono ane Messi na mo de pressure aba be talk dance also on pressure bia munya botre enfama de Lami Yama de Lama Yami na tese ne man koyi kaba enfama Lami Yama we yan koma eja etotwa e wodwumadi so a ene anope no ye de kakra de bro na yetimi akode tactical board na Josia Wolotu any edi enkobo kakra eho ye ba Tesco eho ha sanso na Jude owusu bafo enso afifi Manfred Mr. Kofi Asante enso eho ha atese ye de enkobo ni na edi brewo ewo dwumadi so enkoba bia wo so ni ne better like it na say na pass or comment ni ankin kari nyina mfama mo on TikTok no so no mo messages no menya abote na makinka mo TikTok messages ni nyina enso dia mama insha on TikTok e chane din de ntino yema mo nyina kwaba emfa emra ye juma de so Josia good morning.
Good morning, Gabi.
Na embom to say
nyame adom bibia boko na wonso.
Oh nyame adom nso mo ye pa.
Saturday stars yes about.
Oh yes and then so nyame adi hu afofi one na den so ache.
Sanity.
Enti ya ba dey seja. Yedi nkomo kakra big game so ewo ho enanimre.
Of course.
As we hu ni bia a big game because a word stage a game.
Yeah.
And in other say a 4 for a third place team or a big of 8 standard. So yedi nkomo kakra with a china that game na eba so nebia
final no
adani em bia de be count then yetimi awrem na
but Gabi what is it France for England for no mon person mebo 3 and 4 no
omo person mebo ho am na enkobo omo prayer no mu kodu na no mu fi se de enti do mo prako because what they are
what's up
what's up
but utie Thomas Tuchel and somehow odi to you can tell that the spirit is down.
The spirit in the bear down because
yeah.
And yet on target no.
Of course.
Once nipa unya high hopes na a down player. Aya na say one we ya one so so kakra. And do be from si kum. And you be name say England and how the nature yes, I know your problem.
And you agree with me, say it happened to them similarly in 2018. While Brana Gareth Southgate
yeah.
They went into that semi-final against Croatia. I said the first goal from a very spectacular free kick from Kieran Trippier. Then suddenly, match no Kosono. They considered 2 goals. One from Ivan Perisic and the other from Mario Mandzukic. So they were wondering, say, why has this thing repeated itself once more? Because look at the situation. Very nice goal from Anthony Gordon. 1-0. Now, Mama Argentina for them pushing him back to the wall. To the extent, say, they were not able to keep their composure. They lost concentration. And they were not able to.
Social media for Mumbehem phone and Fama Pamacho. Mumbehem phone and Fama. Social media for Mumbehem phone and Fama. Okay. Tesco Medase. More na mumra me hem
social media for phone na pese this time ya
pese this time be better bo say omudi ye adwuma na akwa ye yinti kwa me bra be hefa ma do ye nkoso na ye ni dwuma.
England no they know it that when they hired Thomas Tuchel the expectation was that carry us to the final and manage to win the trophy for us because it's been 60 years. The last time England for winning World Cup was in 1966 when they hosted it themselves. And after Usher situation now, you say the Thomas Tuchel biaba. And Thomas Tuchel, the expectation is that look, you are a German coming to take over the English team. So carry us to the final, deliver the trophy for us. Our second in 60 years. And Timmy the way are now omu peno. And I think say omu chimu tanya third and fourth no omu bebo against France. But if you want to talk about France kakra before I start no, I think Didier Deschamps will be very happy with what he has done.
Okay.
Gabi, to play back semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup 3 times in a row, it is not an easy thing. And Oshe Ejuma Didier Deschamps are here on this team, right? With the young talents he had at his disposal. The way at 2018, that was where we saw Kylian Mbappe come onto the scene. Then through that, 2022 Omoko final, when they were 2-0 down, they managed to climb back 2-2. Our game 3-3. They call penalties. Eventually, they lost that game. Then they came into this World Cup, all the way to the semi-final again. I think, say, as he's leaving the job, one of the biggest memories of Odibeja French national team, and they say he would have known and remembered all the things he has done in the past. And players Nankasano, you will appreciate him for what he has done. And so him, Zinedine Zidane and Ebabeji Ejumano. And I know that Zinedine Zidane, to him, the responsibility is that baby I did the show any team na bedruno. The bar has been set very high into Unsuna was so them. So Gabi, nobody would expect France to go to the next World Cup in 2030 and not make the semi-final. Because baby I did the show any bar and Druno. And was so Zinedine Zidane, you have to raise the bar. So of course we live to see how that will turn out, because 2030 remember is just 4 years. And then you see a World Cup. 4 years about that. And another World Cup is over. And that is the end of an era for Didier Deschamps. All the Ejumane Eja, Zinedine Zidane to continue. So we'll see how that pans out. But you better sound common in terms of tactics. France and England. No, but Gabi, the World Cup has come to its conclusion. And I think this has been one of the most enjoyable World Cups for me. Mr. Tisha World Cup, that was 2006. And the Kaiser World Cup, I have very fond memories of that World Cup. But if I compare all those World Cups from 2006 to 2010, 2014, Brazil, 2018, Russia, 22, Qatar, Munina, till now, Gabi, when I look at all of those World Cups and I compare to this World Cup, I think we have had a very, very good tournament. Of course, this is the first expanded version now. 48 teams and participating. And we saw, or we have seen 102 games so far. 102 games, no result na project on the screen this year. Right from the start, first game as South Africa and Mexico boy, Mexico, we need 2-0 South Africa for red card me. It looks like it was just yesterday, but Gabi, another World Cup is over. 102 games down, 2 more to go. Baku a bronze game, no? To see who wins the bronze, that's France and England. And we have started that discussion already. Then the big final, which is between Spain and Argentina. Gabi, to talk about this game, no, there are so many things that we can look at. So many perspectives that I bet me a far game no from. And put it on the table. I think today, no, most of us would want to look at it from a very holistic perspective. We share 2 teams that I know. You can see that they are coached by 2 managers who have a very peculiar story. So Lionel Scaloni, any Ejumana Wabeye as coach of Argentina now, you do realize that he has added something special to this team, even though they have a player like Lionel Messi, or X factor in that Argentina team. Gabi, when you look at Spain as well, Spain have a coach in Luis de la Fuente, who has also mastered the art of tactics and has become a coach in his own respect. While building a team not to a certain level that everybody wants to admire. Gabi, when him say Luis de la Fuente, ex-re Lionel Scaloni adie, wabra omu UEFA Pro license in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Luis de la Fuente was the instructor of that class. And that class was made up of Xabi Alonso, Scaloni himself. There was also Capdevila, former Spain player. Capdevila now also Kahubi. And there was also an Andoni Iraola assistant all Liverpool. And there was one thing now. Luis de la Fuente Ekaye. I say when you looked at all the participants in that UEFA Pro License class of 2017 now, Nipa or share no, actually say or yeah in the team building topic or was Lionel Scaloni. So Gabi, look at the Argentina team very well. There's one thing about Lionel Scaloni and how he coaches the team. He gives them the liberty to be a brotherhood on the pitch and off the pitch. It will be a move return or not a bar. You will see Lionel Messi leading the team. And say players no call a hydration break, no more touch line now. You see the way they have conversation with Scaloni. It is so demonstrative of the fact, say, Scaloni as a coach, he allows the players to have the say. It's wadring is saying, wadring. Then both the player and the manager have a conversation and they build that sort of friendship among themselves. So that was the observation of Luis de la Fuente. Gabi, omu pre-match conference, no. These were the words of Scaloni. Or say we have to thank the players. It's hard to explain what this group has done with words. We are going to try to win the final, but what these guys have already achieved is incredible. Iti ojitum senka uka say Argentina bebe do final in this tournament. Many would not have believed because no one did 2022 dada. And in terms of back-to-back, winning the back-to-back or going to the back-to-back final in the World Cup, any people will know me I don't. So he can appreciate the fact that the players no. And on the day he will want to thank them because they have been able to demonstrate on the park. Say, when it comes to resilience and mentality, we also have it. She games of a boy against Cape Verde, against Egypt, right? Against Switzerland, against England. There were times in these knockout stages they had to claw from the back to come and win the game. So you understand the mentality which he's talking about. Gabi Yebisa Luis de la Fuente. Same question about what he thought about the final. Honestly, I agree on many principles and ways of thinking. I believe we are not so much different. The match will be evenly matched and decided by details, but we must impose ourselves. Into Nusunim say, game Yakoboy, the opponent you are coming to play against is an opponent that when you score him 1 or 2 goals, they don't give up. And you have no choice or no option than to impose yourself on the team that you are playing against on the day.
But game no any easy.
Gabi, me say when I look at these conversations already, it tells me the battle that is ahead for these two teams on the pitch tomorrow.
Game of a sort. One moment shoulders. As a of
course
in the Premier League, Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, in the middle for Argentina. Na waba benya Pedri, Fabien, and as a Rodri.
Then you look at Dani Olmo, and look at players like Pedri, the way they know themselves and how they're even gearing up towards the final.
As will be 50 years strong,
very strong.
Will be weakness. Okay, so the bench
But Gabi, isn't it shocking? Say the two teams that are going to play the final at Echinano, that's Spain and Argentina, they met a certain Cape Verde in this tournament. And Sir Cape Verde, no, in those 2 games, demonstrated to us, said they were not a mean opponent against these 2 teams. Omekai group stage, Cape Verde, Spain boy, that was the first game.
Yeah.
Oh, my group, no, 0-0. And even after that game, no, I'm not for Bebreka say, now Spain, they are no muye. Oh my, I tell you, most of my favorites, no. Who shall Cape Verde after no the World Cup for the first time? Won't mention. So people were quite raising very funny comments. So no more sure. Look at what happened in that game between Cape Verde and Argentina. That game had to go into extra time before Cape Verde eventually conceded that goal, and that was the dagger that sent them back home. It is one thing about this tournament. I've already said, look, this has been a very enjoyable tournament. Obi will tell me Biano. Obi to me say, World Cup we share World Cup we because we look at the goal scorers in this tournament. The top goal scorers, Harry Kane, Lionel Messi, right? Kylian Mbappe, all the big boys have showed up in this tournament. And I think that is what is making this particular World Cup one that we will forever remember. But Gabi, we cannot mention the story of this particular final without talking about the story of Lionel Messi and Lamine Yamal. Say, minim say, one saw picture now. I think who can want him already.
Yeah.
But when him said that man for be say AI.
Yes, of course. Even including me at first.
And now you be Spain player Bakubi. That's Mikel Merino. And okay say no him say AI image, no him say real. Gabi, the story has it that in 2006, na UNICEF Foundation, United Nations International Children's Educational Fund for no. No almost Spain. They wanted to collaborate with Sport, magazine Spain, to be able to raise funds for UNICEF. What they did was that no, say Barcelona 4 players no. Say a minimum 8 pictures with the young children who were in Spain at the time. We had first one in 2006 no, a fire, and it was a big event. It's what your mother say in 2007 no. What they will do is that they will reduce the reach to just those who lived around Catalan area.
Okay.
It's UNICEF one. They did the same program in 2007, but they reduced the reach to Catalan for area no. They did a raffle they a draw. They will select at random. Then when they select at random, who are we family now? You select one. Who the wakola and aoba, ebeba Camp Nou to come and take a picture with a random player. Gabi, in that 2007, the story has it that when they did the raffle, Lamine Yamal, ne mami, a friend Sheila Ibana, and then the papa a friend Munir Nazraoui, they won the raffle to come to Camp Nou, and they brought their young 3-month-old Lamine Yamal along with them. Then on that day, coincidentally, the person that they picked as the Barcelona player to take a picture with them was Lionel Messi. So Lionel Messi on that day walks into the away changing room, baby, I will try a picture no. And went to sit with the small Lamine Yamal, 3 months old Lamine Yamal.
6 or 3. 6.
A 6-month-old brother.
6, yeah.
6-month-old Lamine Yamal. And yes, Messi. On it akwalano eni agono mucha pictures. Gabi. I don't know how football manages to write certain scripts.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, who would have even thought, say, 19 years down the line, those pictures will become very relevant in the context of the FIFA World Cup final. Not a FIFA World Cup match, group stage, and now quarter final, and now semi, the final. After those pictures was taken on that day, Yebisa, nipa na ocha picture no Joan Monfort. Ono kura no nim say picture where they say a random picture in mecha. But in the 2024 Euro final, we had the father of Lamine Yamal bring out those pictures. And Oka say this is the beginning of something special. Because not Spain ako Euro final mo wini. And after the picture was taken in 2007, nobody thought say inka ehubeba faso kra. They didn't bring it out anymore until it was brought out by Lamine Yamal papa. And Omodeba Bontin said, even during that time when the picture was taken, look, Lamine Yamal and the family, they didn't have so much money. Now I say, oh, here we hokakra. But look at what has happened throughout that period. And today, we are talking about this story, highlighting the relevance of the fact, say, in what world would we get the chances of, say, on that day, no, na a messy, na wasn't connect Aqualani Trapisa picture, no. But Barcelona was made up of so many stars. Gabi, that time Thierry Henry was with Barcelona. That time Victor Valdez was with Barcelona. That time there was a Carlos Puyol who was the captain of Barcelona. What were the odds? Now if you put a Messi, what started say all first team during that time? What were the odds? Say we'll get something like this. And I think this is why we love football. So maybe Samia, I don't know, we play football, I don't know, we need football. Sometimes football will tell certain stories that some of us can never explain. And I think that this particular story of Lamine Yamal, Oya Kola, Messi, and any day abroad 19 years ago, Eswaban Faso, and Yedin Komo. I think these are the reasons why we love football, and destiny is speaking for the two of them. Also, Nancy Princeton, Eka Simbi and Afifin, so Eka Wasem say, on Sunday, what we are going to see is that we are going to see an official handing over ceremony of Messi to Lamine Yamal. So with the crown now, say me the boy.
Which I agree.
You agree, eh?
Yes.
I also agree.
Me who be bisa. Because I say near ma a surround around omumi no.
Yeah.
And nema nesa the eba. So you have a better way of say, oh, okay, sisi ade basa me free I said you but this is the guy.
Yeah.
I think say the finance china bebe.
And that is the official and now no, when you look at it from that conversation, you will struggle to say, okay, I want this one to win. I want basa for baby. I say me the baby could be a many beji.
Yes.
Call me Yama with you, Messi with you. Both of them are Barcelona legends, so to speak. So we'll be happy. But I agree when people say that tomorrow we are seeing a handing over ceremony. Whoever wins, Biano. At the end of the day, because of this story and because of how it has reoccurred 19 years later, I said both of them will meet at this stage. No, I think it's destiny. It's not a coincidence. It will be a because way the coincidence there. I'm not sure. Say, me ni pando be dream. But of course, after I know, UNICEF one kasa at the post ebae, and they were speaking to the fact that the picture is real. It will UNICEF for post. I'll say yes, those photos are real. And I think at this point, people will look at the story and they'll be very, very, very impressed with the fact. Say, look, this is a miracle of destiny. That Messi and Lamine Yamal first meeting, no, and one banfaso 19 years later. And I think, say, Charlie, this is something that all of us will look at and they will be very, very happy about after a China game, no. But Oshe athletic for posting, so I'm gonna say honestly, that photo of us is crazy. That's Messi or Okasa. Also because well, that's life. I took a photo with him as a baby, and here we are facing each other off in the World Cup. It's Messi and Okasa. No, I think Obeje Okakra and know that no. There's
some link.
There's a link. There's a transfer of power. There's something special that connects the two of us.
Yeah.
And I think Sechnano we'll see. But Gabi, another thing about Echna game, then they say we are going to see very interesting duels. I'm dwelling so much on the final because we'll see Lamine Yamal come against Tagliafico left hook. We'll see that duel. We'll see Aymeric Laporte against Messi. In Fifi any Echiro because Lamine Yamal, because Lionel Messi no on Casano or buy into this game with that full confidence to come and try and win the game. But of course, Ushe Spain, any Argentina, Makanwa Semdada, the way they've won their games in the quarterfinal, in the semi-final, we saw how Mikel Merino came from the bench to come and get those victories for Spain and Argentina. So their games are all behind. No afraid, no about set, and then they win the game. The actual game they actually very, very interesting. Now Gabi, Kukureya say omu win this Sunday now be retire. Makukureya. Oja Chelsea ya call Real Madrid no. O say Spain we need match new year. There are two things you do. The first one is obe tattoo Luis de la Fuente. Nenim atono as a tattoo on his body. Then the second thing is that you will retire from the national team because only say we GBBA in 2024 we win Euros inti opese after 2026 we win World Cup now he will just go and retire and he will be in peace. And I like the mentality of Lionel Messi for tomorrow's game. Gabi, when you look at Messi and all he has achieved and in Nyema wire in football, you can look at him and say that Anka Messi in Kachina game ni senka enya dia but look at what he has said. I say once again we have established ourselves among the top 2 teams in the world. And that proves that everything we have done is no fluke. And that nothing was handed to us. So Obekaya in this tournament, Messi ne Argentina, no, the referees are working for them to make sure we renew more matches. Make sure we renew tournament. No? And even though I disagree to some extent, I think Messi, Asama working, I can also agree with him. We share more matches on my boy. Look, coming from a goal down or 2 goals down to win a game, Gabi, it's not something that any team can do. And here a certain level of concentration and mental fortitude to be able to do that in that game. And I think that's what Messi is talking about. Of course, Golden Ball, if Messi and Argentina win it, I think Messi will be the first player to win the Golden Ball 3 times. And I think that would be a very good achievement for Lionel Messi and for Argentina. Gabi, another thing, Messi. I hear in this tournament and I'm on Messi because look, the guy has done a lot. And say Obama we now say or Jai football Nesiwa. I think football on its own needs to even cry that Messi is leaving the game. and I think say anything could happen. Obebo match where we will beat me say we retire, and that will be the end of Messi. We will not see Messi again. Instead, I'm on Messi pan. If Messi plays this final, Gabi, he will be the second player, the only second player to play 3 consecutive finals in the FIFA World Cup. The only other player to do so is Cafu for Brazil.
Okay.
Cafu ball 94 World Cup final. Only Italy, winning here. France 98, France ball, winning here. Then in Korea, Japan 2002, Germany ball, he played all of those finals. Then look at Messi as well. Messi 2014 Brazil boy, Abraham losing to Germany. Then Qatar 2022, winning here against France. Then tomorrow we see if he wins or even if he plays, he would have entered into that league of players about 3 consecutive finals. Now, Oshe back-to-back. Gabi, only a few countries have done this back-to-back thing before. 1986, Germany called final in the FIFA World Cup. When we need 1990 Obaye. Look at 1986 final, Argentina called final. Oba back into the final in 1990. 1J. Then we have France. 2018 final. Eba back 2022 final 1J. Then 2022 we had Messi and Argentina through Lionel Scaloni. They won the FIFA World Cup, and the Channel we will see whether they will be able to defend it. So on say dynamics are very, very interesting in terms of the obetimi aye back-to-back successfully. Over the years you don't get too many teams to do that, and I think say Gabi, let's look into the tactics, because nimse yetie for how it is possible for Spain to be able to break down this very, very difficult Argentine team. Now, and now me share video be Leo de la Fuente now or discuss the way on England football Euro 2024 final, no, and how the way he got one of the goals in that game, how that goal came about, and how I think say that goal and the way team no a ball shares our goal no will be very relevant for a final. No, one thing I about Spain football boy and they say, you will see that the way they rotate their players on the pitch, is something that they have studied and they have done countless times. It is a boy, and now you also bear with this with me the way Pedro Porro is our goal in the semi-final. Pedro Porro for him for our goal against France. It was an interpositional kind of football, boy, and they managed to get that understanding with themselves, and they managed to score that goal. Gabi, Luis de la Fuente say in 2024 final now he utilized a simple strategy that helped the players to rotate among themselves and managed to get the ball into a certain space. Omutimi share goal from Nico Williams to score the second goal. Omudi winning some match no. It's a tactical board this year. You will see that I have put together something similar from that final in the build up to that second goal. Nico Williams share Spain for the J Euros no. You see a Fabian Ruiz over here, or drop it deep into the right hand channel, or J Bono. Now, Fabian Ruiz is naturally a player who plays in the midfield. Or drop it deep, Sarano. Danny Carvajal had to vacate this right hand channel and move forward. There was a space left over here. Jude Bellingham had to quickly jump onto Fabian Ruiz. Now, you realize that Fabian Ruiz released ball on Temtem Emma Carvajal.
Okay.
Then you also realize that once the ball was released to Carvajal, you had a Luxor coming down to tackle Carvajal and release the ball and get the ball from him in that right-hand channel. Then what happens next? Carvajal finding Lamine Yamal in that right-hand space, in that right-hand channel, say no, and the ball on the man. Then once Lamine Yamal picks the ball in this space, you have a Maguire come down to tackle him. There's an Alvaro Morata and a Dani Olmo also filling into the area of the box to try and get the attention of John Stones, any other defenders or more boxing. Then once that is done, there's a huge space at a left-hand channel, where Bukayo Saka is not able to track down early. The ball comes from Lamine Yamal towards Nico Williams. And Nico Williams in right box say yeah, boom, that was the goal. So you realize that there's an interpositional play from the Spanish, and yes, combination now a bomb to displace the opponent from their respective positions on the park. Now when your chance at show, and you saw that same thing in the game against France. Pedro Porro it mean that chance right in front of the box to slot home omunya sa victory against France. So I think tomorrow one thing that Argentina want to work on and they say so almost Spain for neighbor they shouldn't have the idea that they can only beat them with the mentality. Because the mentality Luis de has already built it in his Spanish team.
Okay.
The way interpositional playing they'll be able to stop it. And to say the match today, this is the strength of the Spanish team. Argentina, they have always fought from the back. If Argentina even go 1-0 down, they will find a way to fight and win the game. But if Spain 4% win this game, they will have to be very, very innovative with the way they implementing almost strategy way. And I think that is what will help them to be able to win this game. Gabi, I think the Argentina game in Spain will win it.
Go margin.
Look, I think it'll be a very close, about 2-1. 2-1. And you're 2-1, about 3-2.
2-1 or 3-2 for Spain.
Yes, we'll get goals in the game.
Okay.
We'll get goals in the game.
So, and then you mean so the England, France.
England, France, no. Say not minim say be a bit in your time they won't come
but prediction.
Just prediction.
That, yeah.
Well, Gabi, I think because of the disappointment of the two teams and how Omentimian do final, no, I don't think they'll really give their hearts out in this game. But Michel France for team Didier Deschamps, the fact that this is his last game, I don't think so be loses our game. No.
Okay.
I'm predicting say France will be winning third place. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Yanda Joshua Olo 2 and so ase. What the akota cardboard no so yamna na yamna medin kobo and so wo him say Kofia Santwe Fifi Manfred and so ha ebedin kobo Tesco so ewa ha Jude Bafo and so ewa ha be obetumi atena baabi ayenko yedim obetumi atena baabi na yetimi akoyedim kakraka azane kwate ye yana ana obe fadwa yi na ade ram straight forward na yetimi ayi kakra mama ma Tesco akwaba Tesco good morning.
Good morning boss
na embom ti say
nyame adom papa no hoya pa
eda nyame ase eda na so ya samba
Anne.
Yes,
yeah, no credit after my last appearance no menya kwanya embe.
Say last week na otu kwan no.
Last week na me too.
Enti ye mo akwaba nso.
Yeja papa. Yeja.
Yebedin kobo messages kakra enso a me catch am say mo messages aba on TikTok yebeke kan nyina e de amamna afi on Facebook nso no yebeke kan nyina Eddie Amamu Ewo Ejumadi so your TikTok no Nhyira 1045 FM Ewo TikTok handle Nhyira 1045 FM Ewo TikTok na fi wonso do messages no Eddie Aba Ewo so na yetimi Eddie nkomo kakra Kofi good morning.
Good morning Gabi.
Na empom to say
Gabi.
Mingi kami messages na kakra na
your time and
za
omunti ye ejuma
TikTok dey akwa di echiru na ma me nhwe YouTube na me hwese me yifi TikTok won ntina ma dodo na akwa di echi basa na ne kan no enso akwa ye din on the YouTube dey na dey ma yemi me hwe na metimi YouTube dey ne kakra efro no na nka yetima akwa ne beta Kofi say ebedile so ye nin komo kakra ye wi ani aba kinka message no
because say busa fira message me one na message
sa ye nin komo ma me ne Tesco nin komo kakra then yetimi atwa so Tesco ma memra also na ye nin komo kakra
ma me sha say free me top 10 moments of this World Cup. World Cup na ya boy we know.
Yeah,
there have been 10 moments unforgettable.
10 moments.
10 moments are refia enye ye.
Okay.
Yentmin deleting fan film. Now the 10th one no ebeye Abranti friend no Julian Quinones.
Mexico
yes, Mexico.
Yeah. Omu goals ni nyina ono ana na ehihye ni nyina.
Ordinarily obi e wo no Colombia.
Oh, okay.
Onyini wo Colombia, or ye Colombian. And unya kwan be bo team and the Tigres. Ewo Mexico. And into osi na kan wo honom no. Eno naturalize the man Mexico.
Oh, okay.
But no mo ye call up mo friend because they had not accepted him. Eno dia homete move free ho. Eko Saudi. of course Saudi this season was shot 30 goals.
Oh, Saudi Pro League.
Yes. And now when you kwenya babewura national team no mo. And I am adom wetimi carry national team no na bati.
So you see,
it's a nice story.
because energy now no the ball no. You could see say or person or tell country they say no. That thing medru maso.
Yeah.
Me okay. Because ball now no bone obia ohe game bia ohe Mexico game bia be say boy no ball now no bone. As a career sort of extra energy be no the body game no.
Yeah, and because of that, no, Emma special.
Okay.
Because of that, no, so now the fighting spirit no was so, and they were sure said, "Min free her, young woman wa ha." But every man met me aye, enti Gideon Monya Mimuno, excellent, and so our honor, and all their carry team. The second moment, the African story against xenophobia.
Okay.
Mexico against South Africa. And Africa, you know, South Africans we support our own.
But
because of South Africa for xenophobic attacks or man met out to other African nationals, you know, Africa for say that game you best support to Mexico. It looked as if say Yakushia baby, Yakushia this Ababa baby in Africa for you know, this uncommon. It was so organic, it was so pure. Mexico for nankasa cry because say omu who support that ewo mo life mu like so much no mo boy you know. Na Mexico for no support to Azteca Stadium no. Na yeah other Africans also on social media support no massively. I think my next moment team and didn't crash out it me by World Cup no for the first time. Omo buy omo be share Germany. Omani Germany Boria na Germany are almost 7-1. After losing 7-1, they expected say emotions. But who's the football near Boria na no Jude Bellingham near Argentina for Boria you could try Valentino back with 3 home. What I say? Born near Boria no lose to emotions was so kakadi. Who ya say Jonathan Tamo and some other German players and you Kurasa for na kabomu bompaye bomu.
Yeah.
Bona ya boy you know.
Yes.
No mo ka mo bomu bompaye bomu, and that showed us that football is uniting us in our diversity.
Yeah.
We are from different places near Abesia, but bona kan ya bom, and into your bobo no so we are and tokwanasa competition na banawe ya friendship and humanity. And for me, that was one key moment to show you say we are competing there, but first of all we are humans. And I grown it can boom and sana atiti mu. My next moment, a timer. One was a branty I friend no following Balogun.
Yeah.
Okoje red card.
Yeah.
And a Donald Trump. A train phone Fred. FIFA president say omunye be been found. I mean, was a review and a FIFA review. Yeah, a so big controversy. Say red card there. This is not the procedure. Later on, number cheche mu say enye FIFA president or mo free and more review. Yeah, officially omo throw the ma committee na tenase review. Yeah. Football has a way of writing its stories. Following Balogun Bejinemu, Belgium share US 4-1. And my US free mu. I thought that football story near try. Dia obey bia unto me sasano. If destiny speaks in football, whatever you do, you cannot change it. Balogun now I should go sa Oshia Belgium and an streak in the end there. In fact, touch in the box cry in that game, he was struggling to find a touch in the box. And for me, that was one very key moment defining football and how unpredicted it was. It also shows that power brokers are part of the game. There's always a possibility after say nipa 11 na ye pack no so bi so we chire obetimi determine influence game no. And for me it is an important lesson for all of us. My next moment Argentina and England. Omo poor match ni wie ya na Argentina for wi ni no. And Giovanni Lo Celso and Lisandro Martinez far a flag be a poster be a near tro Falkland Island no and one sem dia to so as somehow translated the back English say the Falklands are Argentine. Next time from Omoni UK for ntoko omoko kunye in 1982 are more than 500 Argentines no omuwu was awo num omoko ku over sa asasana and even Falkland for no crack referendum to over 99%. Some they want to remain under British UK, British rule. But Argentina for no more domutrim say Falkland Island no a. And for me, it shows how football can never exist in isolation. Football no and any pass it and it is together. It has been weaved together with us. Any able. My next moment, timer. Jeremy Doku, a free Belgium camp. So, Nhyira Manawo, fantastic idea. Mekranka me very good pa. Now 10 of events, said events na kwa are completely DNA test bibia trese abofra ni dindi praise sabi onim Jeremy Doku free baby oni no kra numunsuo baako no mabenya moja baako to show that for a player over nipa dodo omu chance on represent Belgium na Jeremy Doku kwa nya asa kwanya no among 26 selected players no we camp no ho to come and prioritize on his family na nkonko wie kra na chese ho kra na nkenu so kompo in the first place no na yasefem it's a nice story to write about human beings say nipa dasani you can never know what has been designed for you. On Doku de no now omo koye DNA on that. Yes. But on kasai on kan wasem but that is the truth. Sir. Yeah. There's a confirmation be my on that. On kasa on sir. But that is but from all checks now. Oh yes. What throw on Instagram a so crass women. What throw women are scam. What throw women are scam. On the Instagram page so. That is for Jeremy Doku. But from me checks, Jeremy me say no correct. Yes, from a check, the minimum say Yanokre. We hope anything that maybe Sasa. So we hope say Yanokre because on also throw an Instagram page so say women are scam. And now my yet draw connection say you be at the yet now my next moment here, the moment team and in this Spain. Mikel Merino free bench by or Beshe Portugal. And now before World Cup, you know, the last dance I had Cristiano Ronaldo, 41-year-old Portuguese player before so Beba pitch no so now Portugal and J trophy da. Wabeje 3 trophies there ma Portugal. We thought say the debates between who is the GOAT no. Yeah, there's our World Cup winner Babe settle. Okay. Anything Cristiano is also Babe BB on the World Cup stage. That's striking moments. Mikel Merino de ball no 2 net num. Mikel Merino de ball no 2 net num. Every year mu yi Portugal free mu. Na we Ronaldo fan bia na wo hwa de be si utrim ye. Daddy Lumba nyomo boy o se mempa ebonie. Ano kasafa oba yatiwa a ofin suta no woda. Daddy Lumba wuye. Journalist Korisha Sama many bisa and say the Lumba bonyo mao na o si obom paye say nyankopon ma o yefu na won fan wo na otimi wo ya na the stern face the disappointment amamene de car say moment me an woda hwe Cristiano Ronaldo anim after that game no rest supporters na osuna that was the same expression the sad realization that this is the end for Cristiano Ronaldo as far as the World Cup is concerned. Very emotional moment. My last moments in the game for this World Cup. When Iran players on mobile World Cup no omo be tena Los Angeles omo bo omo games omo bo Los Angeles owie ya omo kofie no ena omo jai letter ewo dressing room ho omo throw letter handwritten na omo de tare boards na ewo dressing room na omo de tactical analysis no omo de baako e de tare so na omo jano ho. Now this is what the message says. Was it from the ancient Persia of thousands of years ago to the civilized Iran of today? The spirit of Iran remains alive and steadfast. #168 #Minap Mebao. We came to Los Angeles with pride. We competed with honor and live with dignity. Thank you, Los Angeles, for your hospitality, and thank you to every Iranian who gave their heart, voice, and soul for Iran throughout these 180 minutes. May peace, respect, and friendship prevail among all nations. Now, nobody expected say Iran or no ni US aircon. Oba World Cup we no dini juma wo US we. Na so kwa or the message or the respect any peace beto so.
Okay.
And for me it was very iconic. Now #168 no na agenda kakra wo.
I want agenda
say 28 February 2026 US ni Israeli for Bombay school bi ewo Iran emma school children emma 168 ewuye, and because of that no eno enana omode eye na school no ewo baby efe no Minap eninti eno omode #168 no
okay
e de eto so to send a message of both war and peace to football lovers.
Okay.
Nyame adumo ochina game no. South American champion versus
quick one.
European champion. It is the first time I was such a final.
Okay.
It will be between organization and structure, and then athleticism and flair.
Okay.
Messi the flair, never Enzo Fernandez, no more the athleticism never count. The game will be defined by one thing.
Okay.
After Kylian Mbappe money Spain boy, Kylian Mbappe criticizes France for more pressing. No, I think that is what will determine this game.
Medase
Pressing.
Medase. Mame Antoaso na yanko fifi so na fi yehena yenwio Kofi. Good morning.
Good morning, Gabi.
Na empomu ye de.
Nyamiado. Me so ze onzo we.
Oh nyamiado bibia ye pa. Mame ntiwe.
Which nyamiado watch now we have the World Cup final. And I think say this is a World Cup final you will be there in all measures. The very first time as Spain Argentina Bishia, about the very first time outside the trophy, you know, the winners no being golden rings. There's a local America, almost Super Bowl we are. Instead of medals, they give them the championship rings. Now, China, FIFA in collaboration with America for now going to give the winners no championship rings.
Okay.
With the ring, you know, saying it here. China, a winner players they will take their championship rings. They are going to be about 1,000 more on sale. I will be a person so top championship rings so will be able to get seen to buy on FIFA website. Essentially, FIFA want to do every World Cup the way of the locals. In general, we share the pre-match press conference that was different than we know. Now we're more open. Acquire something similar to the Club World Cup. Lionel Messi, Babet Sanase. I think 2 more Argentine players were there. 4 the Spaniards as well, Luis de la Fuente and Rodrigo Cascante were there. Essentially to ask open questions from the crowd about how our game is going. A World Cup that is different, that is from not the same as singing. Now to be very honest, for Argentina, it's an end of an era. But for Spain, it's the beginning of an era. To be very honest, almost every other person our Spain team in Biaro has been mentored by Lionel Messi. Our brother Lionel Messi, a young boy, El de La Masia, he mentored them. And when you listen to almost every Barcelona fan, the emotions are high. In fact, And then Okoka Bibina and Korea and Koma Basura for they can even insult you. Because they think that's a Genaba. And you don't have to stress it, Banessa. What is that Preston? Preston is a handing over ceremony of Babe. The old guard of Barcelona handing over to the new guard of Barcelona. The old guard essentially represented by Messi, and the new guard, a brand new friend Lamine Yamal. And yet Lamine Yamal, people always point out to this picture of Lamine Yamal, any Mami, any Lionel Messi. And there, really say for money by clear. Say picture no clear. Now, it was a picture of inclusivity. A young black African mother. And a wow. Then they wanted Lionel Messi, who was an ambassador for them, to take the picture for that inclusivity. And it was true. I don't think that there is a greater picture that does a good job of marketing for Lionel Messi than this. Because it shows the human side of somebody I know. Almost everybody or Biboachi would argue that the greatest player in the history of the game, if the one of the greatest player in the history of the game, if not the greatest. And that is the picture one of Lionel Messi, and Lamine Yamal, and there was another one of Lionel Messi, and Okita Pau Kubasi one himself. There is another one of Lionel Messi, and a branch friend Pedri, and a branch friend Gavi, excuse me, next to him. So he tells himself for almost all of the Spain boys, he had seen them, he knows them. And now, in that pre-match press conference, he said this. Also, that picture with Lamine. Now we are facing each other in a final. After a photo was taken of us when he was a baby. It's just insane. And Gabi, I don't know if you have did it. But see, I can say, we are saying, this is what we mean. Who would have thought? Quote and unquote, at this point in time, you can miss it between me and Lamine concrete. But fast forward, today Lamine gets to play against Lionel Messi in the World Cup final. It is the duality of life. And now form. But today, what you can be there at this point, what I mean by Messi, he was powerless. But Lamine Yamal can stop Messi's dream of winning 2 World Cups. And that tells you how sometimes in life, so you should be very careful with the people that are underneath you. And that's what forward. There's one more connection of the two teams. And I'll recount the story of Lionel Scolari and how one can account here as to how he became the Argentine national team manager. Argentina don't play a very bad spell. Obekaya, Jorge Sampaoli, Diego Armando Maradona. There was one other coach that was very, very old Argentine coach. In that spell, after 2006 World Cup, 2010 World Cup, 2014 World Cup, the Argentines kept on coming close. But the success was very far away from them. There was a group of Argentine former 2006 players, Roberto Ayala, Lionel Scolari. Almost as I said, they wanted to at least start with coaching badges and see if they can take up coaching job in Spain. And while they were going through the coaching badges in Spain, our instructor was Luis de la Fuente, who at the time worked with the Spanish Federation. Obiana, he had gone through the Spanish lower division, under 17, under 20, under 23. He was the one that coached them. And usually he said, oh yes, Jumana, you have a multiple job of being a coaching instructor. So it is just like today, Desmond Efe, the football directorate in terms of technical side of GFA. In terms of coaching instruction, when younger coaches come through, he would have a chance to mentor those boys. And that is the story. He was his mentor. And Oyamiya Mochna, he gets to meet him again. Will be ending the boss. They get to meet him. One La Fuente, on said between England and Argentina, one person, so say Argentina really because he wants to meet his old friend, and our brand friend Luis de la Fuente. And that is the transitioning of our brand your friend Lionel Scolari from the days when we were at Sevilla and then straight to today. I have done a good job. there is an interesting video that I forgot to get Princeton. Who is that? This is a picture online of Louis de la Fuente.
And I say, we're Trasaku.
And yes, Sakura Nunkwa, he is fitter today. Have you seen the video of Louis de la Fuente or Jim? Who was that video? I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. De La Fuente tells the story of how a coach in the juvenile side, young, sat time, not unhealthy. The only things he used to do was what we coach coffee. But now, even today, or seeing the players, even gym worker, he is one of the fittest of the lots. I will show you shoots now. Look at how Bono he works out aggressively to the extent that at this age, Louis de la Fuente still looks sharp. And now he spoke about Linus Scolani. Also, but Scolani and I agree on many principles and many ways of thinking. I believe we are not such different teams. The match will be very evenly matched, decided by details, but we must impose ourselves. The most important word going into the final and its analysis is the word imposition. Because to be clear with you, these are two different styles of plays. Argentina for the style of play is a relationship style of play, whilst for Spain it's more juego de posición, not from the positional play. So there are two different styles of plays. Whilst Louis de la Fuente says that all agree on certain things, no, for both of them, they have from two different schools of playing the game. The South Americans think that there should be a lot of rotations. Anything that the Argentines were comfortable pressing man for man, they don't care if they go the port, more changing a left wing and right winger. No, it's about how you are playing in relation to the ball. For the positional play, it is more about players being disciplined in a set structure, playing in a particular way, and then doing the job and demands of Sahara. It's as simple as that. It's the two teams, no. Once they are from two traditional schools of thought in terms of football, who will be able to impose their style of play on the other? Argentina, can they impose their style of play on the Spaniards? Or can the Spaniards dominate the ball and then impose their style of play, force the Argentines to defend, and then, of course, impose on the style and get the win against them? De La Fuente was 76% win rate as a coach. Now, let us not forget, Yenka where both teams have come from. When Spain was 0-0 against Cabo Verde in the opening match. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what had happened when Spain was 0-0 against Cabo Verde?
Yeah, when I'm yes, any African countries will be there because the Cabo Verde Tmias are there now.
Did you believe at that point 0-0? Say Spain will make it through to the final, not make it out of their group, but final then. It was a little bit far-fetched to think about it.
Because when to man say Cape Verde will be anything.
What are you going to do? But the second game against Saudi Arabia, we need by 4-0. And we go against Uruguay, and we share 1-0. Then in the round of 32 against Austria, a European side as well as them, we really gave by 3-0. Then in the quarter-final, round of 16 against Portugal, we share by that solitary goal by Mikel Merino Sobekaya. Then in the quarter-final, beat Belgium by 2-1. Semi-final against France, 2-0. Now look at the most interesting stage. Group stage 1 conceded goal. Round of 61 round of 32 1 conceded goal. Round of 61 conceded goal. It was in the quarter-final against Belgium and conceded 1 goal. 1 goal. Then in the semi-final on conceded goal. So throughout the competition, Spain won have conceded just a single goal. And it tells you, for a side that is not known for its prowess without the ball, and yet then the Spain were able to prevent opponent from scoring them. This is what we say our question now. Because Spain for the anyone want to say, ball in omunim kita, omu create chances, omu share. So Gabi, the big problem is that identity the assistants now, Obian share.
There are some more good defenders.
No, not just that, Gab. And as somebody in the entire say in football, you don't just defend without the ball.
Okay.
But you defend with the ball. You don't just play without the ball. You play with the ball. And Spain for in everything. And you ever come in here and say they defend with the ball. It's the new you should ball to Ukraine is in your area. By the time you are unable to create a proper clear cut chance to score them. Okitabona, heading somebody finish them. Until by the time you get possession, it's just like what Mbappe said. France is foreign trains on the come on. You don't turn over possession from the Spaniards in their own area. They take care of the ball. And I chanced on an interview with Xabi Alonso 10 years ago. Also, in the mind of every Spaniard player or football person, the ball is the most important thing. For a lot of other countries and school of thought, the goal post of the opponent is the most important thing. And your ball ne kita ne dan na no na here. Say osha ball no so here, obenya go. And that is why it's difficult to score against them. Again, for Argentines, a different story. Almost a 2-0 against Algeria, 3-2-0 against Austria, 3-1 against Jordan. Almost winning 3-2 in extra time against Cabo Verde. Another extra time 3-2 win against the Egyptians, or in regulation time actually. Then in extra time against the Swiss. I think the most difficult game Argentina was not the English game. Tactically, it was the Swiss game. Burat Yakin ABB how to beat the Argentines. And that is why for the very first time in the knockout phases, Linus Scolari is a son and son, and William Simeone as a winger. Something we had not done before in the knockout phases. No. He knew that he had to change something because now Abante Fred Burat Yakin changed a lot of things about how they play. I think that when you look at the two difference makers on both sides, France versus Spain, we thought it was going to be an Mbappe versus Lamine Yamal. But Rodri Cascante gave us a clinic of how to control the game. Now, shall Rodri ATV provide this same clinic or something similar to that? I doubt the game we will mention the name of Lionel Messi. We will mention the name of Lionel Messi because if you're player of the tournament, if you're the goal king, which he's already leading. But in the game in itself, Rodri prevented Argentines from having a sniff of the ball. Not Spain for the ball with Fabian Ruiz. No, constantly go to the recycling process, hold on to the ball, take the ball back, create the chances, and then win it back within the shortest possible time of 10 seconds. For Argentines to exert that form of imposition on open. And to this, I'm saying, I think, in game state, Spain will impose themselves on Argentines.
Okay.
I think you blame young boy, we in Kitama. I doubt the Spaniards the Argentines can do the 90-minute man-for-man press against England. I doubt that the hunger to play against England is the same as the last time I was telling you about the islands of Falkland and what they say in Spanish the Malvinas. No, the game of football between Argentina and England, and your ball, and your war.
So, that game now, your boy.
Yes, it is more for the Argentines. Up to today, Gabi, you're not tournament in your FIFA best and chill. But still, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Los also I got on Instagram. Up till now, we're doing report. I saw that on Instagram. That picture, they put it there. We asked him, he said yes, and okay, for them, it's about their nation, what they represent. That is the most important thing to them. And you're born and you're born. So they constantly represent that. And the football gods have given them 3 most important wins against England. Maybe they came in and they said, and then I wrote it on Twitter. One day, said, Jude Bellingham will get the last laugh at Argentines. One will be nobody should call Jude Bellingham an arrogant boy. Because people will forget.
But France, we can win 2 times. Argentina, we can win 2 times against France.
Yeah.
Or we the same thing. I know my boy against England.
Yeah.
Or my the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So England for you show will be it will count football sanity. We don't need about to cry. But a day will come where the football boys will smile on the English. When they smile on them, no one should call the English boys arrogant. Because they are not proud of what you do poets say that tell me and why do you? Because he has lost it. Alright, but back into the game. When Rodri gets to control the game, I like one of the things that Louis de la Fuente carried in the pre-match press conference. Besides, once over pressing Argentina for man for man, not winning. A couple of years ago, no coach Sevilla for under 14 was a bizarre.
Aye.
Now, almost Mbasa for the Messi buy.
I'm the Messi buy.
I don't ball man for man. 70 minutes 0-0. And then you play now. Oh yeah, man for man. Only film.
Why didn't the two Messi hono?
No, we answer 3 was a 4.
I also say a 4.
So you can imagine. It goes to tell you that once you want to control the game, Lionel Messi has the moment. He's a momentous player. Oh yeah, there are people like to call the players no more memories, you know. Out of nothing, out of the blink of an eye. No engineer baby, he pulls it out of the bag. That is what Lionel Messi gives you. But why it is difficult for me to think that Lionel Messi may have that kind of game in this one is that Spain will hardly let you get those balls in those areas that consistently. All the times Argentina and Lionel Messi have changed the game, Lionel Messi got the ball close to the edge of the opposition.
Yes, very true.
Cape Verde, Argentina, Egypt, England, Switzerland.
Or the just Spence day around the corner.
Because Gabi, no can say. So Messi your ball on center circle, there be a center circle in your ball now. How much will he be able to influence the game unless he is carrying it through a swarm of players to go and score himself?
Yeah.
But how many times will he be able to do that? Against England, within a split of 10 minutes, no one yet to set up Enzo Fernandez and the other one Lautaro Martinez. So the Spaniards would have to do a good job of taking the ball away from Argentina and staying in it as long as possible. 39 years and 21 days, Lionel Messi, or the oldest player outfield to make an appearance at the World Cup semi-final. And it means that at the World Cup final, obviously, you get to see Lionel Messi. And only one interesting thing, in the pre-match press conference, Omokofa, Bradimo, Djokovic, Omokofa, Travis Scott, Brent Efreno, M. Rubin, Kevin Hart, any Durant want to come and ask the questions, of course, is essentially trying to mix up football with the various American sports. And America for national. After this World Cup, there's going to be some connect of sports normal panel to the current ones at El Honum, and that's exactly what they've been able to do El Honum. I'll run you through this quickly, then I'll end for you. Okay, like we were saying, Argentina for most sequence of attack, Nippon involved Mumpa those games on Lionel Messi. Then there's Enzo Fernandez, Leandro Paredes, Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez also as part of it. Now, most of the times Argentina turn the game around, like we said, it's on the right side where Lionel Messi and close to goal. Again, that's exactly how Athletic Fono, ability said Argentina Fono was set up. Martinez, Leandro Martinez, Christian Romero, Molina, Tagliafico will be the back four. McAllister, Paredes, DePaul, Enzo Fernandez. It's expected that they will go back to a style of player, boy against the Egyptians and the Swiss, Messi, Alvarez. In that regard, we expect instead for Spain it's an unchanged 11. Fabian Rodri, Laporte, Kubasi, Pedro Porro, Simon Kukurea, Alex Baena, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, and our bench friend Mikel Oyarzabal in there. The big question is that who wins the final? I think say Lamine be winning the first World Cup.
Really?
After 16 years, so Moji or South Africa, no, or 26 years. That was in 2010. And in 2026.
Yeah, 2010.
So that's 26 years. Abrantia, Spain will win on the next World Cup. Spain will get on a second star. And because sometimes, when you say there are two histories, there are two historical parts of the game that can affect it and quickly. Now, when you say every country be a magic 4 World Cups, and I think about 3 or 4 kind of magic World Cup before. Germany, Italy, Brazil, Argentina is going to be the 4th one if they win this one.
Okay.
Now, in all of these 3, before Mojo of the 4th World Cup in Biano, there's 24 years between them, between the 3rd and 4th. There's a 24-year gap. Or the 3rd one, it's taking 24 years, and some the 4th one.
Okay.
Italy was same. For Brazil, it was same. And then also for the Germans, it was same. The last time they won it in Brazil. For Argentina, so it has taken him just 4 years.
Okay.
From Qatar to do it in America. It doesn't happen like that. But also, every time we've played a World Cup in the Americas, especially in Northern America, not Southern, usually the Southern American countries win it. So Uruguayans, the Brazilians, the Argentines, usually they win the World Cup when it's played in South America. Europeans find it hard to win it in South America, but in North America they find it hard to win it there. But usually the year span they will take it for them to go and do the job, no, is a big deal. One of those histories is going to be defied. Spain, however, I think say will be winning. And the third and fourth, there is nothing in it. I think say they game you know at least an over 2.5 goals on them. Now, they are ending up in that regard. Mami Fesina, Ian Murphy, and then let's speak about what's on the local scene. Yeah. What's in the first Gab?
Me kwa
and then 14 hours.
And also so the dembe be pa na nka me se me ye adwuma so me wi afimi ho za ma anya adwuma na ansa na me jaze because friendly matches be bri wo ho ansa na we mu se nti no me say ye wi ana eja wa nyame anim na wa ba ko de ama me
yeah say
be wi because na de mi ogidie pa that na de ne de because matches you go on nya matches get
one yeah me so when twebia very important. I say Canada for the diaspora for no so be something.
Okay.
Very soon almost screenshots no metric. The first one BW 6360259D. Second one BW 63635FDB2C. Third one BW 635FDB2C. Fourth one BW 635F8F07 and the last one BW 635A20C8. These are the codes and mean betway codes and the coffee so na and then you celebrating them.
Well, okay, Fifi Manfred Anna or they are caught at the cardboard no so what they are mine. So also we bet me call your social media handles na or comment na bana marking Kenny na the amana Derek Coffee. Derek Coffee did the message Eddie about us. Do you check? Okay, I'm saying now answer will be honum. Fifi is Gabi is not rich. Okay, and we are Derek, you know. And Danlad Ibrahim was 3 goals for Spain. And also the Aborian was this is not about Barcelona. It is spiritual thing. And was or the about is no normal. And also the when Steven was this Spain and Argentina game is midfield battle. And no and so the about arrested Swagger was 16 years. Not 26. Kofi can 26. Well, say 16. Yes, 16. And 170 came. And White Angel was say Argentina will win this cup. Fifi. You don't know what you are saying, okay? Also, what the other know. Appear also was it tough Fifi not to predict for Spain because all the teams he predicted for lost their matches. Okay. Also message and so I don't know. Sylvester Mensah. Well, this Spain is coming with ball control. They will control the game, no doubt. And Argentina is coming with physicality and never give up spirit. Argentina to win. And also, Eddie Abayimano Sarkodie was Argentina will win this World Cup tomorrow. Derek Coffee, Makinkan message in Eddie. Okay, my main wins also. Derek Coffee say on Lami Yama 19th year. Is the 19 JC on 19th July 19 years ago. Messi wear the jersey number 19. Lami Yama refused to number 10 JC prior to this World Cup and chooses the JC number 19. Now that means Bibia a go for Lamin Yama. one also messages near member Facebook na making come so more than oko TikToker mo messages no so bebre TikTok artist no so making kai the amamo yen share ahodo so mesamba na yetimi ato so now yaba fie na yaba be di efie enkomo na ensem bebre fie ayade ebrewo number 1 sa Santiroko anya new head coach na coach na ba oma on veli no atese oba be se adwuma na se dia makrobia Metema Asante Koroko Eric Tinkler from South Africa Muhammad Dani o screen so de am so pay make mu be ho pay no ya de ato screen so kama ono ba be adwuma de amakrobia Metema Asante Koroko na okọ South Africa why adwuma ye pa esanse ni manage ya role Orlando Pirates woni o ma ya adwuma Cape Town City woni o ma ya adwuma Super Sports United woni o ma ya adwuma Chipa United woni wo monso aye adwuma afi Malmesbury United Soku Kone United ho nyina wabo mo amatese wodi wo mo aye adwuma afi na edu club ya Metema Asante Korokoso but the question is we betimi aye adwuma no area ma Asante Rokana Koroko supporters ni yo okay with the quota wabana eno ye dia ye ba bedi ho enkomo now mami this enkomo we mfama na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama edi enkomo kakra edi atuja concerning Carlos Queiroz na duma oye as Black Stars head coach si edi aduma de mana so betimi aye aduma ana so ntimi enye aduma no Ghana man penya kasa edi afa ho ana osi ni nsusuo mu no e kana ese afcon credit dey in Ghana yebetimi ade amana yi.
And we also need to start preparing for the next World Cup. The Black Stars did well. Nobody gave them a chance. People predicted they'll crash out at the group stage, but they managed to get into the round of 32. I'm sure that if we keep this team and we persuade the coach to continue to work with the team, by the time of the next AFCON and the time of the next World Cup, we'll have a team that can claim the championship in any of those two competitions. Okay, so where the Ghana man paying Erituja? Now, we not say ya picture wa Ghana han say etimi emiti standard. Esa say ebedu baby bia say ye team we na ekwa Africa say pitch no emiti standard. O say ne sisiem no wo wes anyo we kwa de ebenya stade maku num atese betimi abo ma na mpo ebetimi ma Ghana kwanya na say AFCON ye betimi hosu bia etimi abo ye. Want over the next few years to have at least 5 stadia in this country that can host CAF competitions properly, because I'm sure that since 2008, after we hosted the AFCON, the time is almost near for us to host another AFCON. Maybe in conjunction with our neighbors, we can come together ourselves in Cote d'Ivoire and then host. Okay, Ghana man pay epidete say anasa or hese bia say ye nyoma bi ti say Africos abaka Ghana wa since 2008 ye wosu a bibre man nyina besi aka wa ha no ate yie say Ghana ye say nya say enmunyam se ni bi na owie beba pe na sports minister Yewura Kofi Adams enso de nkoma kakra di eta fa sa pitches any stadium ho ense bia
facility, and that has been the commitment I communicated to the regional minister, who himself has helped us to upgrade at least the sitting area. This used not to be there in this form, and it was only during your tenure last year that we managed to secure this, just to upgrade it for some levels of games. Our intention is to be able to modernize this stadium and make it complete so it can host CAF certified events. And that plan is at place, and we can assure you that everything will be done to achieve the objective that you set out for us in the area of what? Sports and sports development. Okay, so and something in any Jude for Atenase na Jude the Abesase ewo efinsem na yetimi adomu esikoyi pa ezanse wo mu hia awe football development mu no ana akasai Ghana man pay ene de wayi ni so onhwe agudie ho nsem so ene say pa omo obetimi ama ye hope
sɛ ɔman yɛ football ɛbɛkɔ yɛ edwuma mu mienu so ansa na timamufo no yɛnso yɛ de aba bɛyɛ de abɛsɔ so good morning.
Good morning, bro.
Na empomi ya de.
Nyame adumu na onso e.
Oh, nyame adumu bia ye.
Ye de radio ase.
Oh yes, come up. O peso ya na boso. Peso ya na boso.
Sika no ho the boys na mo no.
Sa. But we akwese ayala na de brem. Yes, akwese ayala na de brem. Ndi say e fe dia o pe obi a. So we probably ska one ho de on no fi America ba e ntanya me a me de bo Ghana he ya. Oh yes, come up. Come up.
Ye bona ba so sports. Ayala nipa mu nipa. Na me nsra no me ni nipa ho do ahia. Ayala edamu nsu.
Yeah.
Ukraine just the short period me ni Ayala ahia.
Yes.
What difference?
Yes.
No one man na who said you say.
Yes, I be pay
nipa mu nipa pa yi.
Yeah.
Make us up from the bottom of my heart. So, and you say, "Bia, I'm not far for." So, you say me, I don't be as.
And as I would you did you obey in the world city? Aha,
into me, someone.
Of course,
I always cherish him. Yes.
So, Yamre, my president to say was a senior man. The horses are also no idea to Jano. Minim so besa say free kotoko. Na de akọ ya blasters is mo baby apeso sha say free.
Mama sha say free the first gentleman of the land.
Okay.
Yeah papa John Dramani Mahama Ahunfidua His Excellency JMB a guy. Minim de nti naturally me penasem. No me penasem do minim de nti o. Utie menya NDC ni o. Na menya NPP ni nso. First, na me NPP ni no kra ba ko pe me ka no kra chro ene na me NPP ni pa but ma twe me ho kakra
zado you floating
now for now me floating maybe I no kra there na me ka some said me come as me come as ma minsuro me nya NDC ni da na me NPP ni pa me mabusu nya NPP my contact kra Victor Smith Ghana's ambassador to US ono timi ka hye me nua abonim say family they strong NPP but I made ma twe me ho
okay
me floating me shawa be on yema yie na matuma ba ma say sale no na midim but papa ni in person there from TTO communications minister me done do minim de ntio naturally me penasem His Excellency ti unim bro asana yema mpanyina aka no ade we ya ade ba ko a Ghana ha nkasa no yeso ho ache aka ho asempa say I was seeing a lot of infrastructure sporting infrastructure and not just for football alone and your Black Stars as a money or see it me developing in sports no because sports no a tool ba ko ye bet me a UC a project on mine that is ye be UC ni year e be side sika aba on mine enti ehia ye me kai wo emra Thomas Tay Pate ye papa ye rabaumia okay okokosra Black Stars before NPP abai ni free so
okay
Okoye na Thomas Tay Pate so be ka okakere ne se osre na ani die mu omomo na omomo a good pages
okay so
yeah yes okan sasem ne pa and me feel say he was on point na no ni ade ehi omo when me say bibi kesi o ade na no kan ni ade na omo adi hu nkomo enye onu nko a ba on a leader for the team ti die ehi omo no ene waka
which party ni years aka of football club no so
exactly
na mom ntini ma betuma ba be su
because omunim edana me kan sem dia tro say unim say offer CIS observatory report on footballer Ope Africa no nation ba ko a we export talent here pa na obey Senegal no way in Nigeria Ghana nso eka ho bi nations Africa omo export talent pa nti say ope dwadie pa football mu a ye di dwa pa Patrioti ase ye the players ye the talent eko amanone so they can discover ba so on your points no enti edwadie ba ko a ye di a CIS observatory report on football at the buy so meaning ye wa ade bi a dance we betimi di sika bre ese me ani akoso we betimi aboaye and sad no ye beda ni aya ni ye or see a create what we call an enabling environment ye create say enabling environments na eye no ene ye betimi aye ni anye ne say eye too eye business ye bro so on your point no ye the ye business enti no eye na me sunie me nua da bia ye ka yes Ghana need sports particularly football It's a sports na ye can ye beka boxing gymnasium ni ade Carnation Sports Complex dey ho na ye hu ye betimi akeka saa na ma na di ho nkomo but ade ba ko o se bi si ahuni in economics so hu ye wa ade bi a friend scale of preference meboa Ghana be person be hosti AFCON meboa o hosti onim so no nko any capacity for now. Yeah. Just on in the neighboring countries, Togo, Nigeria, and some comedy, no. Gabi, ye me see one day. So, offer scale of preference as a nation. No be some who say pay in current situation, ye woman, ye tibia ye woman. So, I didn't hear a pan say ye be investisika at their cost sports infrastructure, patrioty. Nemponia Sanswa Jine hosting an AFCON na. That be so what's my point and I say. Your current situation. And only idea here, we will have to develop our sporting infrastructures. It is very key, it is very important. But I'm only asking the question, say, looking at your current situation, dear Omai no menu in any maniano, your tibiano, your bobrana, your woman, say ensure tono, and grind. So the ensure you farm am for. Every the far amount for no. Yehun sababe do point say even Sikampo and drainage system. Sikampo krana Accra Metropolitan Assembly so hiampo no. Ayeden. Uti. We will get there say do point I feel say sports development fund. Ye na foto no ye nya sika do a certain stage. Me kra me campaign say look stage na ya baba bedu no. Ye nsa ase ndwene saa ne ma no. But for now, say a state nisika uti Ghana as a nation with your limited resources. Any ahunchire wom no. So really, and who be here say you be invested so much and they go into sporting infrastructures. Brought you say no bokraya sa adwene ho see a hosti an AFCON na. Ye misa ye ho saa ne ma no. Ye hwe ye situation a ye wom. So are we ready for it? Because one say, ye treat sports as a recreational tool, and yes, I fan. Ye only say recreation. Ye mfani say a business. So ye say a business. And ye so see about them as a business. Ye see the GG any. San ye dear no. So see ye see the GG any. Now o share in current situation now. So the ayake and can luxury onim say luxury the ayake enye necessity o Gabi ti enkomo ni ye the ayake ni manimi oh Ghana e be pese mampani pese ye host AFCON meboa so before be host AFCON and so certainly ourselves would develop sporting infrastructures now Gabi sansam na ye kan no mama nchu adwene nsi ade so one kasa road network no utie Oman na wutim no wa kwan net say unim say to host an AFCON also unya proper road network so Accra Kumasi kwan yeah why are there one kasa Kumasi ha ya wa Kumasi yetebia because say ba ne see be host AFCON kran na the two major cities are certainly Obekan one some Greater Accra and then Ashanti region and some any other part about trim. Yeah. So bisahu the situation now. Wa kwan et say enkan Kumasi akwan no sa anyene ne se meboa. Yes say ye beye ba besine ye ntimi enye. Eno da ho. O railway system na mu te say. Ghana o railway system et say. Because to host an AFCON so be connected around 16 17 say krampo dia sanso AFCON mpo ya say biem. Yeah. Says he has also and there's a possibility say be say more. What be sounds sad the international countries be even developed countries in Pono. Be no age Africa no. In quotes, other internet drew baby na Morocco nkwana na o save Africa. Almost obi ejane AFCON meboa. Mune han no almost obi ejane. Countries omo anim chen yempo ejane AFCON dentia. Because they feel say omo stock taking, who feel say omo cost benefit analysis because of course enkomo ni ediro. Ye can was say you share the economic benefits. Timaka say enkomo just about sports as a recreational tool. Name of your sports are the bear business. No, are we ready for it? Ya boy ya huye, ya conscientize ya hu. Nampo krano analysis by ni aye utie. Ah ya hu say decide this ye be hosi AFCON krana. Edem fa so bebre. Hwe nan say ya science you know, my di na mateso na me try me ye me research bi me wie. So University of Ghana Nansia Olympic Village no some we but wa hu bi. Some TDAC. Ye pay en one because Ghana had ye back one mehu no kra ne say ye decide say host competition e hono na man for fan so mo de san kwan. Ye can say be host competition a man for a opportunity o mo de san kwan. Enye nansia mo first high games ne say de mo host wo hanom.
All African Games.
All African Games. So OTDAC University of Ghana. Paper keka ya say card utie. Card keke no need to be $1,000 or more for it. Paper ni ade tu yekom no, paper ade tu yekom no. Paper ade tu yekom. Minim say no one thing once Debbie bro, Baku Biano now was costing more than even $1,000. That's how minister no. Wo de matumebo, won's my di besine, me o de meye, me ye obetime nka.
So
enti utie. Sa games ni ye wie ya rani at a cost.
Enti unim.
Aye o man nika.
Enye se me twa no, but
yeah, bro.
Obi ti obebi sa say, so Jude.
Yes.
Is it wrong say o man penyin beka say yesterday we Ghana ha. At least anya kwa de se enya maku num. Sania ye teams na ekwa Africa. One, the first factor.
Yes.
Was your teams na ekwa Africa.
Yes.
Then the next one or the beka ho I say of you say as you host to AFCON aye there atenti see etimi meet sa 5 na ansa na ya dwene say betima aye there I host to be so is it wrong
nice one
say you benya pitches and say your stadium I would do meet standard your clubs equal because now Dr. Kwame Chi Nemai
yes
and this is eba bekoi so much they come out by say omo say na ebe o metimi aye wo mo
ekwan no na enya stadium no aye ekwan no aye state na
say betimi meet aye standard meboa enti obebisa say aye wrong so man peyin beka sa na
Gabi ye papa enye wrong membo kra no de am anigye ni say wo man peyin a yen sports or interest wo ye I will say about your papa basumputi you father of the nation ye mo na basumpo say wo sa adwene ni say I will say Ghana ye boa me in sports etumpo na teach you in football ni nso no etumpo because number one sport.
Okay,
but adia me bisa ne say draw scale of preference meboa ehim father na ehia wo kane so unim dia ma me bisa say no one kasana otono o my Ghana as a state as a corporate entity me try dey bi dia friend maintenance culture mpo yeni dia yedi kan ye mebo baba ya sports stadium so hu say dey aye tabale mo ahu bi na ho kra dey ho dey na enkrantie utie enkrantie adi ho sports stadium orefi one gas one hu say videos ni bi ho enkrantie je honum fine kosekune kosekendi kokore sekendi the sorry state of sekendi sports stadium but all the point na say the ye dada mpo no the ye dada no ye ntimi maintain utie membu obi abamo we have to do it is very important but me first thing and can get here me kran I was say the wo ho na e say no eno ne ami ani ekon aje no ho adwuma wie ye wie de wo ho na because o maintain ya wo mboka te say o ye new ones o ba cho me boa enti ekwe be fa so uplift yen stadium na aban dada no eboa ma ye si no ye nyi sa adwuma no first ye no wia because ye ntimi nhwe ma ni nsi on propro ni asa akwa new ones
but things just sound na voice in the person watching it's not about building a new one.
That's what I'm saying say ye no mom na o se mi ani breso but uni ma de ye no wia brought ye why ye enu awie no na wo dia se omo because ye rai am bofo ankra mo adwuma na omo ye no e wo fom ye pa no credit e ba kope na say no fu say obepe private person no one partner with the state yempe private person no partner with the state
no first stadium no nyina fa
exactly ye clear say Ghana aban adwuma bebre no anasa niam ye state na dia no ye me basa the moment are private ebebem na be private ni state no e na epe na e partner no e different enti emi adwene nko anye sa da bia no ye bebobo boka bi agusa because indeed say ye claim say ye a great sporting nation, especially a great footballing nation. Ade ba ko ye very key infrastructure. Gabi Thuram say we from when ye infrastructure very key. Name your problem with say ye maintain your infrastructure. Ye be ya ade ne kama ye wia na ya say no.
Shego ko de ne fama me then na ye to aso.
Metro mebo ekenkan krata num kama about Eric Tinkler. Na Eric Tinkler na ye can say open footballing legends so Africa ha. I mean he's part of it. Let me read for South Africa. The AFCON no or a part of the team on John Show Quentin Fortune. Onye eneba. Na dear minim ene dear mehuno. Se okay krata no critically or the enema mienu ebeba on board.
Okay.
Krata na me hu no ekire say one on say for now no me expect another krata be san ba your friend further and better particulars no sa krata no and be kan yie about ni CV on say we no basically because of sa pressure e ba kotoko mpanyimfo so and amoache coach Ben na e ba me de manu atum bi pa enti also omuma yehu say look we working it is understandable. There is a new coach on board. A announced on the krata we aba. It means say another krata besaba. I be man ye maybe I very clear on be very explicit on coach no. Ni jumedi obaba be di nyina. Ni sure say bi mpo Andrew Honum no. Na the technical team no on be adwuma no. No mu kran so available.
Okay.
Me sure pa. Bro, me kai krata anum no. Kakra ni mi hu inie. Kotoko afa obi nipa no in terms of level or a certain pedigree because there say obi a coachy sa teams here Orlando Pirates or the Omaba Champions League finals Super Sports United or the Omaba Confederations Cup final it tells you say anya biano ufa even sa teams mienu na oko South Africa upe big teams pana in for Orlando Pirates kon the KJ Champions League first out South Africa. So our coaches are teams were about Champions League finals, about Cup Confederations Cup finals. I didn't year pa. Now we are not to change so Krata and Wabesen who are there because Kotoko Peso called the next level, right? Anytime I became Krata Freeman Siaba, and the minimum from Mira, I no 2 4 say 2. Give me near Mensia, I am very clear. Mensia, epe coach, obey me. Ede kotoko aje Africa crew so your points in here pa coach obet me de kotoko aje Africa crew consistently opaya kan kotoko communicate anytime a kotoko ebe pow a new board task no account kotoko ko fa coach nso within the next 3 years okay say Dr. Prosper na togum dia no within 3-year period onboarding a very good team bet me a compete with Africa so obekaya so it has been very clear and with this man or the Sanya Mamienu Niamamiansa Nebro. Last season, Team Bakua in discipline had year power Ghana, Hanaya Santa Kotoko. And suddenly be all cry one to a radio so. Maybe you're good for public consumption. As Santa Kotoko last season, I know. So it says, I won't send seminar.
No, yes, of course.
A man for G, a man for girls, and the broken hearts, and into a picture so broken hearts and Kwan. Tisanya Manin, Akrafo nkwana no motimo me ne fifi man friend to studio na akrafo can you imagine entini e me see no na bi asefem obi nso say players ni bi nso say me dia me chance aboso me beso me on say fm hey me ni botayo me ni vision bio me chance aboso me nso keke
waje ni pay
na me ti pay because me ni botayo bi esme
say so mu man ni mo bi nti on de obedwina no
me ni botayo bi esme ni so enti sane ama no Gabi na eno nso e wo ho
okay
pato ti asem ni ye pa na wo ho enti se uma coach aba pe coach an level no one ni mu edru ene kotoko companion for sa de ne say in Eric Tinkler or a coach an mu edru so their friend discipline or the better team num secondly onu anwu abobo ni bi nso pen utie onim how our footballers behave onim omu so ban nyina na ye wade bi nso ho mpo a be a player beye no eto da enye ni nyina mpo nso na bia ye discipline no be ade bi ohon mu a wo bobol ni bi da no player ko firu ade bi obetena ase otimi ni di nkomo ma na ye because wa bobol ni bi da onim ade etimi affect players performance.
Okay,
but also what I say it is any money nyina no omo factor into play. The other one also player development. So okay krata na when notice say a bus yen developing players or you're very good at it. And announce your idea back home share. And now Kotoko na wo se say no. Yen tia say Kotoko. Yen youth team. And Kotoko board ya abey botaye emi. Your budget trophies or say compete with Africa because men share here side in free. But at the same time, so yes, I no. I'll see it me say business and so agronom because football no and the basa munina no. Sa na omo ye enye just about omoji trophies. Also it me say business. And no so sa de no one ho. Enti no obeboa say in terms of winning trophies, ya the discipline eba team no. Or the sa man bema. But we also no say develop talents. Otonwa eyi. So we would have to commend management. Name mum only me problem.
Na first
I have a problem in ye. Timing no. Unim say your deadline also the register players for Ghana 23rd August. Can FA communicate no issue yen. 23rd August any deadline also the register players. Any date you say?
Any 18th.
18th August. Sorry, any 18th July.
Yeah.
So we have barely a month more to go. Gabi, we have barely a month more to go. And if we have barely a month more to go, no be sound say one time being a coach never identify talent or sign. I know your key because a bit you have say scouting team at the report near the Ebeko. But if you cry now, not the anchor coach never penny. And yet I know. Because minimum scouting teams be omudi had to folk uti has the scouting teams be eti am omudi omu players be me wie no amfa enti bia na coach no scouting teams no obi on my interest no he enti me problem here timing no omo ya de but osan kom ye ntem Gabi minimum so anya me points na because of timing and I kept saying this last season kwan na kotoko eja ni coach kwan no zito ekoy that period no it was a period and now sanka quickly coach our person ordinary ban only ni them na unfair players no and but the rest of the season na part of the pre-season. So what must I say? I am happy for Eric Tinkler. I'm hoping sir with me signing and the pen receiving na me dia tujano e be ko sa ba Gabi me ma no no had to folk ekoko fa coach by
but yent be nko house
no me nko house had to folk ekoko fa Watara by mokai Watara eba no se na o kan ni CV na ni CV fe pa meboa enye na ba say or the work of Morocco kra no do no onye head coach but we and say head coach or the work of Morocco the Champions League and Timomo was there say Charlie Ghana for a very long time yenya coach o class high level but eba you know
Jude me that
I'm fine. And sometimes you bet you have a CV, no? A bay or the dead, and swan shall not say the horse and Yama Kono. None your man cosa. I'm happy, yes, CV near. But yen shall have subsequently, and Yamano Ebeko.
Okay, me that say, I know Jude Baffon, so Eddie, no, Mamma said, Hennica Craden, yet to me, I'm my callers and also Tam Neja, or my to me. Aba dwumadie so mo messages no so no making kan de aba mo dwumadie so obayi me mna hoye na ya nto aso mfiri o
oman penin se wose ye be hia stadium be do say
wose be yenum
anko man penin kind of simple say na nka boninim from so bi anim I mean yenya be 5 different stadia you bet to me at the a hosting proper international tournaments AFCON nom near the we so yankaza teams or mutu kwa Africa no menya baby dey hide e abo nan saying Black Star na mu ankasa kwa ko matcha I mean CAF CAF mpenyu for be check facilities na ya na problems kakra and in I feel nanka obere say yenya 5 there nkeye no kure wom ne say mabie a manifesto the baban 2024 election the manifesto a president the bechere Ghana for ejina so moto abama no the ba office na obie manifesto no oko page 128 hono kasa the fast post one vividly this subsection no kasa fast post infrastructure development and okasa the first one here to undertake emergency refurbishment of pitches at our national stadium in Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, Cape Coast, and a secondary. So these are five cities. However, Accra no kwa umienu because you UG University of Ghana Sports Stadium and so what they are saying to the Accra Sports Stadium now you two no until they come one you bring six stadia okay. But you go point 2 a hona menya problem and the point 2 is a pursue our long-standing policy of establishing international standard stadia in all regions. And inti once the 5 cities here abubuin represents 5 different regions and there were 16 regions were mayemu into tifima 11 regions. Your president say yes, you 5 you to a certain standard that we know. You basic bakubia wo each of the 11 regions no. Then that brings a big question, say, and the president try 18 months, I will try 1.5, I can't bear 2 nefa. Now, Swampazi is stadium bakumpa, a cateso de near. How long will it take see a basic stadium, Narians and a Mampenia Frekunyaso? And in the manifesto, no, you be piatron chain because at this point, building 11 stadia is unrealistic. You be piatron chain. And I said, but president beats me more mine 5 stadia, working stadia, beats me the I'll be proud.
Okay.
Many better pa. Said you okay, it's a 5 year boss we. Nam pa beats me a shama yenya 5 beats me the Many better pa. Didn't na mechanism. Eya kwese ukot to set up this stadium no crampa. What down my division 2 cra name to me who still just some time ago. Nhyira na mete say the Milo games akwawama enkra tumi akwakobo enkra U13 for tumi akwakobo bi wo ho no afi na yenisa ne ba ho no kranie aye deteriorated to a certain level say answer na be renovated to sa FIFA standard na mampani kan na nyis kaketwa na be wura enye adwuma ketwa na be wura the same as Tamale Sports Stadium ya de baba ya rai kra ya nhwa ala lo mode na no de ya metezana nkofo kikem si asima mefo akwatena so no mode se kan ye den edo but nipa o yes na hyehyeye no kra nipa ni nim se o ha ne ho mo no ane ho adwuma kese because the pitch horticulture and landscaping one the pitch has to be uniform like I was said that's so pepe that the more I dey kan twetwa nguri anom no ni ye twa ni na netie ni bi ye den ye twako ni etutu to kro da so nti wo did mamefo de se kan ni twa ya
no mu dua you know
so that is the problem would or some there be almost say enwura ni bia we say
ba no ye twetwa film
any ye betwetwa film but the point is that utwetwin sa method na e betutum. Okay. You give yourself extra work say we are I was also saying causes and net any beside the fele a honey biom and that is more work than say be out the machine by then e be fast so now you now say bia no fofra that would have guaranteed you so what they make and say adwuma na ye person ye renovation no crampo no ye nye adwen say ye be ye and in my opinion say president say on my 5 stadiums they say the question is obesi 5 new dia ka de wo ho no ho ana say de wo dada no e no ba be renovate amana kwa ko do that standard no
okay
so what else and for me it is very very important because your leagues no rely on infrastructure oko broni kroma de o ma ye ni yie papa pan ne say teams na develop more infrastructure because the teams are capable the leagues are flourishing. Sikawo league no supporters na ni G league no supporters ni G league ni di. Hey supporters no kre ni G die wo ball na ye ball no mumpo. And until there's no way a teams ni betimi raise your revenue to the standard say o ma be build your infrastructure until ya pan said yes my teams infrastructure. And so we need it for the teams to perform, to be able to perform well, give our players the opportunity to play very well. And for me Yentinya yet sad deal with our president I'll be very disappointed. Okay, so obesi 11 at this point on to me see 5 no. On my own, so sinful for an idea. Oh wow, mobile renovation no munya mine. There are some regions they deserve to have a stadium. We cannot play football in this country. Na stadium in Nisunyane. Na stadium in Nisunyane. Over Premier League no man. Over both Premier League and Division 1. Premier League is saying 16, 18 plus 48 Division 1 clubs. You will get about 10 of them in the Bono region. You get about 10 of them in the Bono region. So what they make and say it is the hub of football in this country. We cannot play football in this country. You need stadium so we need a stadium there. In the presidency, you have 5 who plan no, not just to say it's track who plan no, and what we can do to achieve this.
Okay.
No sense for Kasab Abebre about Coach Carlos Correa and the president on Sababe Kabi. My opinion has been one, and I remain firm about it. Say, and you Coach Carlos Correa and Kayanu run of 32 of the World Cup, and you're not a dear core run of 32 of the World Cup. He's an integral part of the Black Stars, and how yet me finding a results to get to the round of 32 of the World Cup. There's no way I bet me a boy who abasu a World Cup we Abraham Coach Carlos Correa Dean Fanfam. He's part of it. But I also think that direction now the team look on he's not the right man for the job.
Okay.
And yes, I want yadi. And yes, a small time you'll be for Black Star no one home body. The nipa bet me I no yeah no. Based on baby age na. Baby ani football ni di fiba. The standard and not Black Star na nkasa set ya man hono. Coach Carlos Correa did very well. But direction aye kono so sunti no. Me feel say ye de ne kwa enye ye. Because World Cup ye they are more defensive football than ntimi free group stage no munko. And that is what he gave us. Defensive stability na dia kwanim. Etimi manage games akwa hwe ebi wanim. Obobo na constantly. With defense near pilo where chiwa okay, so he gave us that stability. But moving forward, the AFCON qualifiers. You cannot play this defensive football in AFCON qualifiers.
So she goes.
Yeah, the AFCON. You need the goals. So what does it? Now imagine say baba raha. And my opinion is also that, and you say you as an individual who's a coach be on a star like Jose Mourinho on a star or Pep Guardiola on a star. Coach Carlos Correa, this is a star, and if you want to get the best out of him, a defensive football na bebo. Yeah, defensive football, so we can't go with him.
Okay, me da say, Joe, what the kakrabes also na me ma your colors in the time na, yeah, did you room?
Yeah. Gabi, me person is starting from a stadium infrastructure.
Okay.
You know, Gabi, there's something we do in this country. I always think about it here.
Okay.
You see, I get it. Say here stadia. We need to build new infrastructure. And said Trimupua President Ede Kasa Semno is because of the fact say Yakasi EPC hosted tournament at this point me host.
Yeah. Because
our current infrastructure does not help us to do that.
Yes, of course.
Gabi, in 2008, government spent over $157 million. EDC Esipon. In Sekendi Takradi and Tamale Stadium, in addition to the renovation of Akrani Kumasi for the AFCON in 2008. We is our tournament now. What has been our maintenance culture in maintaining and making sure that those stadium infrastructure are ready to host other tournaments and to play other games?
Very poor.
Very poor. It is easy for us to say you see stadium fufro. Finance ministry but what is our posture towards the maintenance of these stadia? That is the question. Intimenka said the president Ekano enye good idea. It's a very good idea. But the stadium new year, what is our attitude? You saw pictures of Boteman. Time and almost Boteman.
Yeah.
Our maintenance culture is always in question. This will not be the first time I hear Kasa Assembly. In the stadium there, I agree. Say you have stadium to host the games, but you hosting games new year and as you win the stadium no share teams no sasa omo manage stadium now. What will be the story 5 years down the line? Gabi Cote d'Ivoire and the omo ye in their country. How omo dey host omo tournament. Look at it. Go there right now. You will see that the stadiums are being kept, being protected. There are certain statutes, there are certain rules. Omo making sure say nobody will violate those rules to maintain the sanity and the integrity of their infrastructure. And see a person call that direction now. That is what we must do. 5 NC. I know President Mahama with his reset agenda now. Oka and one sem baby obekubiano. I know that he would definitely make sure that whatever he has said, he will make sure say finance ministry and all the stakeholders know on back together to make sure say ebe happen ebe see. But yes, stadiums new year. The maintenance of the stadium is the most important thing. And then I'm a person maker. And briefly, the person maker can only say Gabi, Sports Ministry, NSA, National Sports Authority, and the GFE. Say one of the reasons why our football is not going forward and is not making the strides I was making, and say we don't have a collaboration between these 3 entities. Inti Emrebi Woho, Idi Adams, Kofi Adams, by Kasembi. Then before you realize the same topic, yes, could be GFA president on that same topic, but it's all about sports development in the country, Gabi.
Okay.
There has to be a certain synergy between the three entities. The government of Ghana to the Ministry of Sports, the GFA and the leadership by Keto Kweku, and then the NSA. I was say omutimi ko omuti boom. Inti yekase yebesi stadium sufra. What is our agenda? What is our policy direction?
Okay.
Towards the building of these stadia, the handing over these stadia to the respectable organization now to maintain this stadia, and also our direction as football and the development of the sports in the future. Gabi, we will come back to this thing in the next few years and we the same thing.
Joe Medase, Mimi lines them fabam na Monsumra, some pacho, Oba na, why didn't you na Unianso, etimi abasubi na etimi abua. Mamira say, Menyame first caller. Hello,
Gabi.
Yes, sir.
But your black army,
Black and pacho, mammy to you.
Gabi, Miss Slow, the power show. Don't must under the car. I don't know about a chap on the gay. A park and so quietly said you will come on. If you're Saban, there's a bunch of a park at Magana. Yes, slug a funny show. A polytropa. Only the car park in the town. A polytro.
Okay.
We are. I can come up. Why you come up? Maybe a video will be a maintain. What was stadium? And so to see upon a wait,
okay. Mesomeda say hello.
The great Gabi Thuram the Paul Nabakope.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a Kusukuju.
And I'm a mintio.
And then predict a number as well.
But you catch them say a bay in life away as more.
Okay, that's it. That's it. Now the tennis is Argentina, China, the cup back to back. Messi fans, Namunta Musolio, no corner draw. It's not a Piasso, a very 2 days, work up against Opana Ronaldo, and to come Piasso, Gabi, the car on the airport. That's when China, only a conquer over Matakio. Let's quite do my fast no. Omaga said, I bet you are Muslim. Now, the coach is a member in Penny for Nabaso. If your coach in Siva, a shiny papa, what is about boy, Bruta Gabi? We make a set of coach on the Nadia Pao. Coach way, what coach is
Medase Anane Menkovu Frost. Hello.
I did not see any comment of your word.
Amos Mensa.
A portrait about the papa, Mr. Papa, and so Papa, the way I got to call the name of Kikakono, and we pay the papa. Now, young who's the service flight to Kotoko. You go to Tunia, the Metample for your players night, or Mobano. Oh, my place, I cook them a service flight, and go back to supporters here, but do every day tennis should be, then penny. We are not a Kotoko dear. The Kotoko, I am to show Mestre, I want to never be unconquered.
Okay, Mesomedase. Hello. Yes, sir.
What would about now? International Assembly, my
honorable, young quay.
I know I can think quality to you. Now, you're not getting out of there. Yeah, President Zakano, yeah, papa. Now, as I said, I'm ready to be in your if yes, the maintain the company maintenance cost on the other town. And the crew. Ghana need the about the Ghana need to carry a car on other cars as they are there. Ghana need to carry out to them around there about that year. One of them, you know, I felt the work happen. Argentina, that you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Okay, me da say etina ye final no SG more na ye be ye live prediction and win ho enti oba no aba be predict ye betina say ye betwetwe kama ye go game ni we na dia owin ye no eno anse winya wa che de Macberry biscuit anafi Macberry digestive one onso nsaka ho de ye wie so mobile phone ho at Ezekiel enso e de mahalo.
Yes, I'll pay you.
Yes, I'm back with Dini, baby. I can say free.
Look, Professor Diaby.
Farouk, Mammy Tiwe.
I'm a full plan of meeting. I mean, Shampa. Ronaldo fans, no. The idea many of them are. The man almost has to say, let's be okay. That it been on the almost a month yesterday. Yami Adamo Tinano, Umbu DPM.
It has a hello. Hello.
Gabi Thuram.
Benji, I'm into you.
Yeah, I'm about to look at the monitor as usual. It was doing Syria. Gabi, before the tournament, Ghana don't qualify 4 points. Na Argentina no final. Mama Portugal no. Portugal Ghana is Ghana. The best minute in terms of contract mu. The England it's no ball carry ball draw. Portugal remove for Portugal. Pakistan for Mutano. So the Congo for number 1-1. The Ghana is for Portugal. Great match on board there. The fact mobile. Argentina for one. When the baby Gabi Thuram. Me pay. Fabio Juma.
Okay, me da say memfa be me ensan kan we halo.
Yes, I retadu.
Gabi Thuram ni we dey be aka say free.
Me ti abe ja fu gina.
We dey
retadu ka tra me kan say really me di ama we di ni say we amaya o for Ghana. Ba ko ni di ni biom me. Ye sure say dey no tem le kono. Ilu so mo ko dey no ma ya so. Na kakra me san so aka bi mu se ye betre ye se ye ya ko ya ta su ye prepare e be ko ti modu ni e ya na ye on are ka atari a e president be ma atari a no wa ko di ni ye na ye ni ya o be ko ano no official to ko telephone mu na ni di la ji o me say what chance o si e prepare ye prepare ya bi e be ta be no na kwa ya no da sorry ati o ye tell service. Yes, I tell them you then go back to be ho. I'm just in your papa.
Okay, hello, Valas one call. Yes, sir.
Gary, good morning. I want to say
good morning. We didn't be aka say free.
Remember Pasha mo kasa fa de ba mekia Sokoban Fatilu munyina.
Okay.
Na Gabi we the win won say Satam 9 ye bebo wane ebie empo adwuma. And I do also a bit my predicting, a bit maybe
advantage the more by SG when the baby are signing a tire. Yes, I want to see you. There see a sassy. Shamuti, yes, sassy. Yaya, the last day in the pet. And yes, the question was yes, is you.
Oh, it's a basso.
And to the force of what do you have? Okay, Mate. But yafa course ni nyina nsia bacho etena SG mo enwumere no nsia na ya ready 6:30 ni ese predict win ase bacho o predict na se specifics bem ebia 2-0 ana be predict ba wotimi di player obesa goal no eka ho na se onu no etimi se goal na eno wo de ya mobile phone okay. Specifics no ebia 2-1 be 2-1 no
Messi to score.
Yes, Messi to score. Na ye na Messi asebia na ye 2-1 na with the mobile phone best 2-1 straight with the Magberry biscuit sawe pe de china ye
when do baka say bia je fan say la me ma be sugar but e bia spin we need 2-1 and me man Magberry ne sama phone
enti eno no be gina numbers dodo no so e de be gina numbers dodo no so enti a cha de ye be tell me
ya ne se be rumu
we dia bra SG mo be SG ma eno ano no bibia ya kama bibia ya kama ada wo birthday na I do this for birthday okay and
my boss me
na me family dey say tam ne sa makatum na fi ekofi kwa bade ma me happy birthday in fact a belated birthday emma me ankasa menua Bene Joseph de adodo na afre ne yobo na ni sisi wo Japan na eno ada na in fact okachem say na wo da nyame anim ni escape me enti Joe happy birthday nyame shira opa na onye wakuma so di na emfama nra ewa wo da nyame shira that or your radio personality ye na sase awe ma na eja o de nyame na dum na de okwadu on the okwa kani nuanom enti do why kakra fa bla no ntake we say adom na bi ye pa enti dude mama mra also
bro happy birthday to me ankasa meba wife ne sister penny ba Roxana Jebuedi or Amstead University me sure said ne picture no ebeto so Roxana Jebuedi Buedi a course school or Amstead University on the final year. Son, happy birthday to you. Now, Wadaroma Medema knows in way the American Porto Castle. Special greetings to my niece in Belgium, Aubrey. She's doing the listening. Aubrey, Uncle loves you so much. Take care, dear. Gabi, and champion Diego. Diego, they will be this.
Diego, Castle,
Emmanuel,
okay.
And then Emmanuel in your 5 years. And Emmanuel happy birthday to you. Go show. No one so on your kese. Don't sabe sombia.
Omani come. When you buy your mamba pa and farmer Ghana.
Samson I'm in town for you. Jeffrey capable. And of Ohima capable. Remember Kuno Babako. Never birthday. Almost UK Manchester. Na Jeffrey I'm in the coast program na kenten.
Oh okay.
Na international Mrs. Jennifer no Ohima capable. Na go pon shira mo na mo birthday. No ko so ano nya mo kase oni mo fa dumu no fa mo kwa dumu. Dem no sabe so bia. Ewade ema no nye kama emfa emam happy birthday to you guys. Jeffrey capable and Ohima capable.
But they come to Musha, they are excellent. Come to Musha, we are their part. I was here, I see now, Mr. Aqua, and so I will a US Walande, or Casa, and no Baba Nemes went to Mamma. What's it? I did just all. I did ready. And this is that. But you for Medino and far and see a hand say na Yencha Mr. Charles Fineboa and so Virginia cry emu a tree. A sit at Donko. Sit and so call a U or call USU. And there be also call UK. Oko UK. Walande. When you are travel, you. Enti no pacho. Se antwa